gone.
Was it?
Yes, I'm not hearing it.
Or whatever he did, it's fixed now.
I'm magic.
Oh, nice. Hey, you fixed it.
Oh, magic dick. Fixing echoing shit.
All right, cool. I mean, we're live now. Um, yo, what's good, everyone? It's your boy Raitosix, and yeah, here we are for another locker room discussion. Um, and today we are discussing chapter 305. I can't remember the actual. Look at the background. I can't remember the actual.
I changed it.
Yeah, that's sick.
I
But what
have the blue
is
lock
it? Is
background
that
now.
is that from like an image or with someone in it
No,
or?
one of our animators cooked up this background for one of their shots in their fan animation
Oh,
project,
nice,
and they sent it to me, so I just threw it up.
nice. Because I've for the longest I've tried to get like an image of just a clean blue lock background, of the walls and stuff, and I can never seem to ever
Oh
find one.
yeah, you can't find one anywhere.
Yeah,
It's so annoying.
but yeah, I mean, we're here now. Hey, wait, I just I just did something. Um, and yeah, we're here to talk about. Yeah, yeah. What's good, man? We're here to talk about Blue Lock chapter 305. Does anyone remember the title of the chapter? Because for some reason,
Yeah,
X
X.
conflict.
Well, is it X
yeah,
23 or times 23?
it must be times 23
What
after
you say?
what was said at the end, right?
Well, you can say times or X, really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just always think of the X-Men character.
yeah. That's me as well. I think of X-Men when we say X 23. But yeah, times 23, X 23, whichever one you want. Um, but yeah, we're here to talk about it. What's good, Kit Kate? Here, bright and early as always.
Bro, who
Uh,
is Kick? I mean, I've always questioned who is Kick Gagan?
This is one of our mods on our server.
he's
I
live,
know.
Suki. You know who it is, man. Why you?
Oh, I've always butchered. I've always butchered his name. Oh my god.
Oh,
I've always called him Kick Gay. Bro, I'm sorry,
what?
How do you butcher it? You can read, right?
That's crazy.
bro. I don't know about bro. I just called him
We've also got OP here in the chat as always. What's good, OP?
Yo,
that shine ass head. What's up, bro?
But yeah, let me just make sure everything's in order here with everyone. But yeah, that's good. So yeah, to start off with, as we always tend to do, I just want to get a general gist of everyone's thoughts on the chapter as a whole. Did you like it? Didn't you like it? What you liked about it, just in a general gist, and then we'll get into more in depth stuff. So I'm gonna start off from right to left. So we'll start with Leo, and we'll go from that way.
All right. Okay. What are my thoughts on this chapter?
Yes, yes. What's your thoughts?
I mean, it's not bad. It's just, I mean, just a little mini. I mean, mini, but it could be mini or major in a way, but just a little training arc of 23, yeah, 23 of 20, all the 23 players.
Hmm.
Nothing crazy yet, but I find it pretty cool that Barra went to learn something about American football to implement it in soccer,
Yeah,
and Butcher going to a what's it called again? I mean, the translation,
elementary school.
yeah, but grade school, yeah, learning more about being a child, I guess. Chigiri learning how to swim. I mean, not learning how to swim, but getting more building up endurance. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
And
know
what
what
what what do you
I don't
think, to the Henri and ego scenes. Do you like that?
I mean, that's a whole conversation I'm not trying to get into because we all know this whole shipping thing. I mean,
Nah,
get the
nah,
legal.
I'm not. I don't mean like shipping wise. I just mean
Oh, whoa, okay,
like
my brain.
like how ego wrote a letter, and then I found it quite funny, to be honest.
But yeah, I mean, their interaction was chill, but not bad. Him telling her to fuck off was kind of crazy at the end, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's nice, man. Um, what's good, angry guy? What's up? Errol, let's have your quick thoughts on the chapter.
I think the chapter was good. I think it has a lot of potential foreshadowing for later in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be getting into a very long rant once everyone gets to the thoughts because I have a lot of stuff to talk about for this that I think is very interesting.
Yeah. So my thoughts. Again, I also liked the chapter. Quite enjoyed it. Um, I like the fact that everyone's got their own individual thing that they have to work on. Um, I From last week's chapter, I thought that it might have only been Isagi that had a special task. But it's nice to see that everyone else has their own special task that they need to do as well. I like Nico, being in the gym and that, you know, I, I need my guy to bulk up a little bit, get stronger. But yeah, I quite liked it. Um, Ego as well. I like Ego scene because I feel like they humanized him a little bit more with these panels. So it's always nice to see Ego and his softer side. And nice to see Henri, obviously Thierry Henry, my favorite player, and whatnot. But but yeah, Dedu, what are your thoughts?
Was there a single football in that chapter?
There was the little kids had a ball when they were
Yeah, that's
attacking Bacheta.
true.
No, Barcha pulled up with a soccer ball. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. He had
No,
his own
well,
special.
I'm pretty sure one of the kids just brought.
No, he
Oh yeah,
pulled up with a
Bacheta
soccer
did.
ball.
Yeah, Bacheta did have one.
Yeah, he pulled
I
up
guess the
with.
kid did. I guess the kid did take the ball from Bacheta.
Yoink. But yeah, I also got a lot to say when that thoughts right away, because obviously there's like a lot to break down with what you see with what all the different tasks the blue lockers are being given in
Mm-hmm.
order to find their ingredients, as Ego analogized. And I think it also, yeah, as Eero said, has really good foreshadowing for what we can see in the U20 World Cup and beyond as well. Especially that we've got like insights into each character. Definitely gives a lot of like the people that like love to run high on their predictions. It gives them a lot of content, so that's always good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do like how it diversifies away from just football, like kind of first hinted at by like Marc Snuffy and his use of jiu-jitsu, but like incorporating other sports and just exercises in general into the game of football is just a really nice creative touch by the author. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it's like really good like writing
I'm
there
not.
and world building.
Right. Yo, did you? Can I touch on something? Just short.
Sure.
I was thinking both Ego and Snuffy come up with like strategies for like specific their team or whatever. I'm thinking, does Snuffy have special training for like Lorenzo? I mean, the other
I
Uber's
I'd assume
plus there.
right.
Yeah,
I'd
I
assume
think
yeah.
so. Especially
Right.
with how strategically akin Snuffy is.
Do you guys?
I'd also say Lorenzo could potentially even be like hindered in a way by Snuffy's strategy.
I think the exact same thing.
Like Lorenzo, how he plays isn't entirely bad. He plays as a man mark defender who just intercepts passes or blocks passes from getting to a person. But
Mm-hmm.
he never actually wins any direct 1v1s. If he
Mm-hmm.
goes against someone who already has possession of the ball, I don't think we've seen Lorenzo win a single time.
No.
Like even against Nagi in the Ubers game, or in the game against Manshine, Nagi was still able to take a shot while Lorenzo pressured him. I don't think Lorenzo's actually taken the ball off of someone before, and maybe he can't. Maybe that's just what Snuffy told him to do. Is just to be this man marker. Um, but I'd assume when you're titled the best U20 center back, I'd assume you're gonna be able to take the ball from someone.
Hmm.
But we
Yeah.
haven't seen it. So I'd just be like, I'd be very interested. That's why I want to see Lorenzo. I want to see more Lorenzo out of
Yeah.
any new Gen 11 because we have the least amount of information from him, and we have the least possibility of getting more from him. Sai, Reen's brother, probably gonna get some more. Kaiser, great parallel to Isagi, and supposedly the next Noah, probably gonna show up again.
Hmm.
But out of those two, Lorenzo's the character we know the least about and are likely to know the least about. So therefore, I want to know the most about him.
Yeah,
Like-
we need a Lorenzo without Snuffy's tactics, because I think then we'll actually get to see more from him. I do think the tactics are a little bit restrictive for him, because a guy even though I know Snuffy tailors his tactics to each individual player, a guy with his skill set, I think he could run riot on a football pitch.
I mean, we don't know if it was Snuffy Statics that made him the best defender in the world, but I don't know.
It probably was, maybe, but he's got his skill set, his individual skill sets already are quite good in terms of like his dribbling and his defending, anyways. So I'd love to see a little bit more freedom from him. Yo, what's good, Ricken? Um, Suki, what are your thoughts?
Um, did Ego hate Sendo, or like why are we trying to kill off Sendo already, bro? Nah, but in all seriousness, I actually understand each of the trainings. Otoya with his VR stuff. That one was probably one of the hardest ones for me to explain. Honestly, recency bias is making me really like this chapter. Later down the line, it's not going to be as big as it is now, but I'm really enjoying these non-football chapters, like
Mm,
exploring the world that anything can help you in football, evolve in football. Ego is still ego. No matter how nice he will try and stay, he'll have to put everyone in their place with the F off card. Love it. Um, I really hope Sai comes back next chapter. What's the name of the chapter? Hello.
hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still hoping that Isagi is going on a plane for Spain to watch, because my theory is that that plane ticket is for him to go watch a game.
Hmm.
True. But
Yeah.
then again, we've seen maybe other players got plane tickets like barou. We don't know if it's the
I
Japanese.
don't know about
No, I don't think they did.
I don't think
Like,
so, because Isagi, like the way Ego was tailoring his information to him, it was like you have to go learn about it. You have to go see it. So if you're watching DVD tapes, that's not the same as watching a game in person. Like how Rayo was watching the exhibition game and then was understanding it. And although he won't get to play with the team, because I don't know how, I don't think Laria's just gonna be like, "Hey, Isagi, you want to come just train with us?" I don't think that's gonna happen. But just getting to watch it is gonna do him a whole lot of good, because
Yeah.
Isagi is that adaptability genius. He sees something and oh yeah, he's going crazy.
Yeah,
Here in
true.
Kaiser, let's talk about relationship restrictive problems, and brother figured out the whole puzzle piece immediately.
Not gonna lie to you, they gave Hero the worst fucking training, bro.
Oh
Told this
yeah,
man,
I
Eagles
was
like
like,
Hiyori?
keep doing
yeah,
what you're doing, bro.
Hiyori?
yeah.
told
He's
this man,
playing.
bro, just
Nah,
go
nah.
play video games at the highest difficulty, max difficulty, or
I'll tell you
please.
this. All right,
Wait,
we
Errol.
we
Before
go
you go,
we ain't going to talk slack on Hiyori. No, no,
yeah.
no, no, no,
No,
Wait.
it's not. I'm not talking trash
no.
about it. I'm
Not
just saying,
not even that. Not even his training. His training is
bro,
good. His training
you
is
get
good.
this man to play video games on the highest
His
difficulty.
training
That
is
doesn't
nothing
help.
that Yuri
Errol,
can't
Leo,
handle.
Leo, trust, trust,
yeah.
trust the
We're
explanation.
gonna
Yuri's
give.
training is good, but Yuri's training is something that he's more used to compared to the rest of them. Like
Yeah, it's
he's
something
a gamer
already.
already. I think he's just gonna have to up the difficulty and concentration, but his training is a good one. It's just I expect him to not have a hard time compared to others. And
Who
that
says
has
You'll
no
man? I
see.
say is
business,
You'll
worse.
bro.
see. You'll see.
But yeah, we're gonna give Errol some time to give what he's conjured up. So
All
because
right.
he's got a great breakdown.
Okay. Are you
But
ready?
not
Let
not
me get
yet,
Yeah,
not yet.
session.
Before we get to Arrow, I
yeah.
know some of you guys already have breakdowns, so I'd like everyone to who wants to express their thoughts on these individual trainings. Here's your chance. Like if you've got any thoughts on any particular players or even all of them, let us know what you think about their individual
Explain
training.
it or just my thoughts on it?
Uh, just whatever theory, thoughts, whatever you think.
Um, I kind of was Chiguris is an interesting one with swimming because like I I'm not a swimmer. I don't do water stuff. Is that supposed to help you like your legs to move faster? Because moving in water is
Yeah,
faster than moving on
No,
land. So I would
it's
assume
just
that is gonna
yeah.
make you way
it's just
faster.
Resistance.
no, it's
Yeah,
just building up endurance. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
is as well is to build up his what is it, cardio?
Yeah, I think.
Because
Cardio.
obviously you can't breathe underwater. You got to hold your breath.
Yeah,
Um,
Like
so
capacity. Yeah, I think that's it.
and him swimming, not only does he have to build cardio, does it help him to build cardio, obviously, like Dedu says, resistance as well. If he can move faster underwater, he can move faster out of water. um
my question is, what the hell is IQ studying, bro?
I
I
think
need
it's.
someone to explain me that. That was the
I
hardest
think
one.
it's.
I'm
Aaron's
winning.
got it.
I'm
Aaron's got
winning.
I
I
think it's.
got you. See,
I think it's talking about more about football. I guess.
I could explain every single one of their specific training regimens and how it impacts their development in the future,
I mean,
down
rings
to
is
the
a
I've
bit.
letter.
explained everyone on a TikTok except for IQ. That was the only one I couldn't get when I was explaining this
I'll
yesterday. So
explain every one of them.
Rings was a bit.
what was
I
your
think it's time.
explanation?
Guys, I
IQ is
think it's
doing
time to go to Arrow
taxes.
101. It's gonna be a good clash. So, teacher, may you start the lesson, please?
Buckle up. All right, are you ready?
Rings extras.
You ready? All right. So let's just start going top from where we see them first appear to last, right?
Last.
So to start, let's just talk about Isagi, right? I'm pretty sure Isagi's is fairly obvious to everyone, right? Isagi's evolution was him learning about soccer, as it was the key to his next evolution within the disc that he was provided, right? And it seems a little weird, right? Isagi's like the pinnacle of BLUELOCK Japan. He's the number one player in the project. So learning about soccer seems a little weird, right? And he was also provided plane tickets that we don't really have a lot of context to, along with the CDs to help him analyze game-changing moments, right? Now, Izagi was asked to look over the CDs to find these game changing moments, but they're not specifically the goals that are scored. It's the events that lead up to the goals, like traps, passes, or just a specific way that the player uses their body. Now, this is to help him enhance his kinetic vision and to apply it better during the game. We see in the PXG game that Izagi attempts to form a chemical reaction with Kunigami and Hiyori, a tri-fusion chemical reaction, which he is successful, and it results in a goal being scored.
Wait,
However,
teach.
the more you think about it, that goal was purely chance driven.
Yo, teach. Can I add something? Just to
No.
teach, bro. Dog, damn.
What's up?
I mean, when you say like the last goal for against PXG was like a moment of that, like what Egos gave him to study on.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the full element of it. It is a good example of Isagi applying a game changing moment, but it's more in line with uh, an already existing application rather than Isagi understanding more of them, right?
Okay,
Um,
continue.
so going into the trifusion chemical reaction, the more you look at the events that led up to that goal, it was purely chance driven, right?
Mhm.
As far as Isagi knows, like as Isagi knew, he had no 100% confirmation that Hiyori or Kunigami were fully going to align with him, right? Hiyori said in the last game that I'm not going to just pass to you. I'm going to pass to whoever is going to be the best striker in this situation. It could have been Kaiser. Isagi had no 100% confidence in this. And he had just proposed something to Kunigami based off of his own speculation. He wasn't 100% that Kunigami was actually going to align with him, right? There's always that possibility that they wouldn't act to support him. But because isagi was going off of reflex and not confirmed 100% intuition, his positioning and thinking were slower than if he had 100% confidence. He's having to just move in the hopes that this was happening, then fully understand and position himself in a perfect place that he knows they're going to be at. He's just like, okay, I'm going to reflexively move to this spot, but if I 100% know that they're going to work with me in the ways that work best, I'm going to be positioned here as opposed to here. Sure, it might not be a big difference, but that extra couple seconds, or even like a single second or a couple milliseconds, could make a difference in a game. Like we saw with the twin gun volley how close Kaiser and Rin were to stopping isagi, right? So it would make sense that those extra couple milliseconds could be valuable. Those extra 0.2 seconds could always matter. We saw with Kaiser stopping Shigiri that it was 0.4 seconds. That's all it took for Kaiser to move in to stop him. So those couple seconds are always important. But you can also like correlate his understanding of game-changing moments in order for him to calculate and understand inputs of information on the field faster and better, which can lead to more effective goals. And this also relates to his omnivision ability, where he can calculate irrational or illogical plays of like geniuses like Destroyer Mode Rain. So if isagi learns to understand these game-changing moments, he can apply it better during the game to allow for him to easily more understand geniuses and illogical players, but also apply himself in situations where he's performing at 100% effectiveness without the reliance on luck. Because sure, luck will appear, but relying on every of these factors to work out for your goal is not the most rational thing. Going into Bado's training regimen was learning how to play football, right? Or American football. Now, there's a couple elements that you can target for American football, like his charging power. But I think the biggest element to talk about is the control over his own zone. So during the match against Ubers, or I guess Bastard Munchen from Bado's perspective, Bado lost the ball to isagi or isagi and Kaiser a total of 4 times, I believe. His shot was stopped 4 times. And this mostly came from the fact that Bado himself was kind of setting himself up for failure. A lot of people want to blame Bado's performance as like part of Snuffy's fault, but I feel that that's just a blame shift, right? Because Snuffy said, okay, wait for the moment that the goalkeeper is off timing, their timing is off to take a shot, right? But he didn't say to telegraph it in this specific way over and over again. Bado just did that himself. So, like, there are other circumstances where Bado could have set himself up for a shot. He just took the easiest one repeatedly, which led to his stuff being blocked over and over again. But by training with the American football players, I believe that this issue gets resolved a lot. Like, when you look at how American football could transfer to soccer, you can look at the transferable lessons of zone reading, physical contact and control, as well as power and physical increases to your body. And all of these elements transfer over to Bado's style very, very well. By training and understanding the zoning and placements of opposing players in the way that a quarterback would to send like a pass, he can enhance his vision and placements of his shots. And I think this would drastically help his Predator, since he's probably going to be using this all the time when he's scoring goals.
So what, he about to fucking bull charge everybody he sees?
Hold up. You'll see. But in relation to Bado scoring and just taking shots and being more precise with his stuff and understanding his space and the spatial awareness around him, his style of keeping possession relates to his chop feints, could be more effective by training with these football players, right? He can increase the control he has in his movements to make his fakes more prominent and powerful, to lead him to have more space and timing when it results in a situation where he uses a chop feint, right? And he can use his physical dominance over the play to deal with players like isagi who may try to take the ball from him. And I think we'll see this going into stuff. Maybe if Japan faces off against like the American team, the United States in the World Cup, I think this is definitely an opportunity for this to shine. I mean, he's training in American football. Let him use American football to defeat the Americans.
Yeah.
Another player to talk about is Barcha, because Barcha came up next. And his training regimen was to go to an elementary school and like learn from the task of learn by teaching, but also to experience his childhood again. Right?
Mm-hmm.
these are pretty vague, but we saw when Bachata was instructed to help the kids how much it actually highlights his character, right? When Bachata was a kid, he was socially outcasted for being weird, and no one really understood his mentality or mindset when it came to soccer. But now he's being put in a position where he can be that figure of understanding for these kids who want to learn themselves. So he's giving these kids an opportunity that he never had as a kid. And I think that's really nice for his character. But dealing and teaching all these kids, dealing with all these kids and teaching them how to play soccer is going to help Bacha to develop his dribbling and his rhythm. Because I feel like the two issues he has with his new dribbling style are his pace and rhythm. In the game against Basel Munchen, Bacha got his dribbling style predicted twice. It was after he beat Kunigami, 2 Basel players moved in to stop him, and during the final play, when Bacha had the ball, he tried to break past people again with a solo dribble, and Ness intercepted it, quoting that his rhythm was too easy to read.
Wait, wasn't it a shadow tag?
What's up?
Wasn't it a shadow tag with Otoya and then they fucked it up?
No, so Bacha just did a rainbow flick. And Ness,
Oh yeah, after he was passing with Otoya. Okay.
but as the child of someone of a parent, my parent is a school teacher themselves, they've specifically said that teaching kids the same way over and over again is not going to get them to learn anything. They're going to be stunted because they're not finding any enjoyment in it. They're going to be bored. So by having Bacha to go against all these kids, he's having to deal with larger numbers of people trying to take the ball from him, but also trying to understand how he could alter his rhythm and change his style for dribbling, given numerous different situations, because he's having to change it up to keep these kids invested. And I feel like that's a really good element of his dribbling, because dribbling can be so many different things. For Chigity, his is pretty obvious. It's just to train his leg strength, as well as his like heart and chest and lungs, but also the ligaments in his legs. Going to Manshine City, he tried to increase his leg strength, so his sprinting was a lot better. But it also developed what I think could actually lead to being a very nasty habit for him. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He constantly did these things called mock cuts. So he would do very, very sharp turns or very, very sharp cuts to break past individuals. And he did this against Mensur, he did this against Isagi, he did it against Kinigami, he did it against a lot of people. And I think an issue with the mock cutting is that eventually this could lead to Chigity tearing his ACL again. We see in the episode Nagi manga that when Chigity tries to do a very sharp turn to catch up to Aiki, his leg starts to creak, and Nagi tells him to stop running because he's going to tear his ACL again. If he continues to play the way he is, he would likely tear his ACL again, unless he did what Ego says and tried to be like a fish. When you look at how fish swim, sure, they'll swim very fast, straight on, make sharp turns, but they're not always like sharp cut angles. Sometimes they're more fluid in their movements. They're more elastic. And we see with Chigity in episode Nagi, he did something called the jungle jam run, where he's constantly moving back and forth with his running. He could apply that by training his body and getting his ligaments more, I guess, elastic would be the word, or stretchy, to allow him to make those cuts easier. And so he can do his mock cuts, but it won't have that much of a hindrance because his legs have been conditioned and stretched to where he's not going to tear his ACL by making those very, very sharp turns.
Okay.
Kunigami, his training regimen is very interesting because it's setting him up to be a continuous defensive midfielder going into the U20 World Cup. So, how we see him in the beginning of the NEL, he was acting as a central attacking point alongside Kaiser. However, he was acting kind of in a way that Barou was in the U20 game. But rather than devouring isagi, he just devoured any opportunity to score a goal from himself. So instead of passing to Kaiser in the Barcha game and stealing Isagi's misplaced shot in the Manshine game, he took those opportunities to score for himself.
Okay, so do you think he's not going to be a striker no more?
No.
Okay.
No. But going into the U20 World Cup, the PXG game, Kunigami switched from being an attacking player to being a defensive midfielder, man-marking Shido. And we saw that he managed to stop Shido from getting the ball 6 times in the 20 chapters that they matched up against each other. Eventually, he was pulled away by Zantetsu due to his lack of stamina during the 20 chapter straight man marking. And I think that's the reason for Ego's training here. Having Kunigami train in the ways of boxing, he's learning to leverage his physique in 1v1 matchups, but also regulate and control his consumption of oxygen and use of stamina, right? Because boxers, you have to control how much energy you're using with each action. Because
Yeah.
if you burn out too quickly, you don't make enough contact, you're going to lose the fight at the end because the other person's making more decisive blocks. But I also think that this could lead Kunigami back to his hero ego and his hero mindset because you have Kunigami who trained very well and acted very well as a man marker. But the only reason he was so well is because he was getting his revenge on Shido, right? But I think Kunigami could technically connect his actions of man marking to being the hero, but rather than being like a superhero, he's more acting as a team guardian. So he's helping man mark the strongest player in the way that like Lorenzo is the ace eater. He's helping the team by locking down the biggest threat, like a superhero defeating the main villain on the opposing team. Shido's is very interesting as well. I think Shido's definitely relates to some future development he's going to have. Shido has quoted numerous times that football is a way of life for him. So by having Ego tell him to cross off everything on his bucket list, he's making Shido get into a mindset of the only thing I have to do now is play soccer. Everything else I want to do has to relate to soccer. So it's expanding the amount of creativity he has when it relates to the sport. So the things that he can do. But also, I think it could open up an area for him to be exploring issues with his psyche. I would want to see a situation where Shido struggles mentally, since he's usually one of the more mentally strong characters in the series. Because now he has no other purpose aside from soccer. If that gets taken away from him, where is he now? I want to see him try to overcome something like that. And I think it could be interesting. Rin is very obvious. His destroyer mode is being trained to be less self-destructive for a team and more destructive to an opposing team. So rather than targeting one specific player like Sai or Isagi and using them as leverage for his destroyer mode, he's using it instead to fixate on destroying the opposing team. But he's doing it in the setting that's not self-destructive for his own team, because we saw Rin sell numerous chances to score goals or just play in more rational and effective ways because he wanted to crush Isagi or he wanted to beat Sai. So he's harming his own team in that way. So doing this is kind of getting over that obsession and part of the destroyer mode. Raito's is pretty obvious. Becoming a master copy, it's going to lead him to being one of the greatest impact sub characters in the entire series. Having him develop the skills of the other 23 surviving players is going to lead him to be a perfect sub for any situation that's needed. You need two Metavision defensive players, Karasu, Rayo, put them back there. Boom. You need Rayo to act as a good midfielder, put him up there with Iori. You need Rayo to be a goal scorer, put him on the wing with Barcha. He can fit into any. You want to be a good defender, put him on the back line with Aiku. He can be in any position so long as he manages to copy every member of the top 23. We've seen him copy Rin, Shido, Nagi, Yukimiya, Sai. Like, he's copied so many different characters. Expanding his arsenal would make him the greatest impact sub ever. Yeah. And by tasking him with this insane struggle of copying every single player, he's having Rayo get over his dependency on Nagi and reliance on one player to now relying on every player to make himself good. By copying all of them. We're getting into like the bunch of the characters now who don't really have a lot of attention. So you're gonna have to take what I say with a grain of salt. But starting with Karasu's at the top, and I think he's doing stamina training or some kind of marathon-esque running for the purpose of him awakening Metavision. So he awakened Metavision, and as we know, Metavision burns a ton of stamina. And while Karasu himself does have good physical abilities, we haven't seen him use Metavision for very long bursts. So he used it to block Isagi's twin gun volley. We saw him try and predict Yukimiya's actions with it. We saw him match up against Iori with it, but he didn't really have it on for long. He just used it to get into the position, and then he stopped. So by training, he can use it for longer periods, and this is kind of doing what Isagi did after the Manshine game, just training his stamina to be able to use it for longer. Atoya's, he's in some VR-esque training, and I believe that this is to enhance his creativity when it comes to plays. Simply because Atoya has a very chill, laid-back mindset, go-with-the-flow kind of style. I think it was quoted to be in episode Nagi. So he's very reliant. He's a very He's a very reliant player whose style seems to be acting as a piece in a play rather than creating or involving himself in a play of mutual dominance. So he usually rely on players like Barcha or Karasu, who usually have more active styles, and then Atoya would come in to finish off the player, contribute as a piece to the play. By having him play in this kind of VR-esque environment, he's involving himself where Atoya makes all the decisions of what's happening. So it lets him kind of form these actions and plays and chemical reactions where he not only isn't he's both reliant but also more active in these plays, and I think that's good for his character because now he's not fully dependent on being a post player or a finisher.
I thought he was doing the that kinetic vision training.
Yeah, I see a lot of people correlate it to that. However, you don't have like the dots on the sides of the dome that Isagi has, where the kinetic vision thing you're supposed to see and then touch to expand where you can see and how quickly you can react to the things you can see. Atoya doesn't have those things, so I don't think that's what he's doing.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm rambling. I'll go through this fast.
All right.
Raichi's doing wrestling just to complement his core. Wrestlers need a lot of good core strength, and by Raichi going to do some wrestling training, he's helping to increase his core dominance, which that was the element of his abilities and style that Snuffy highlighted. So having him be better with his core allows him to be a better defensive midfielder. Because Raichi has struggled a little bit when it relates to matching up against very physically powerful players, as even he and Yukimiya together couldn't stop Bada from shooting, despite Raichi being a very powerful player himself. So going through this training, maybe we'll see Raichi do what Rain does, the center of gravity full burst, knock them on their ass. I don't know. I think it could be funny. But I think that's just what the purpose of what Raichi's to do. Kiora, another very obvious thing, it's to relate to his overwhelming balance at speed. Doing parkour, you have to maintain a lot of balance at very high and precise speeds in order to get your job done, in order to do these insane technical parkour tricks and plays. So by having him do parkour, it allows him to keep his balance at high speeds. So going into U20 World Cup, if there's a situation where he's being pressed, he can maintain balance and do kind of what he did in the episode Nagi thing of like his breakdance pass or the twister pass, all while moving at faster speeds and doing stuff quicker. Kurona, he's training with a Doberman to run, and that's simply because of his stamina issues. Kurona has not been able to stay on for an entire game ever since the Manshine match, which was his debut match, because he just simply can't keep up with Isagi anymore. And I see people try to say, oh, well, Kurona's stamina isn't bad. He just can't keep up with Isagi. I can name a lot of characters who can keep up with Isagi, and they don't have better vision. So it's an issue with his stamina. And besides, Isagi himself is burning a ton of stamina using metavision anyways. So that's not an excuse. Kurona just has bad stamina. He needs to get better. That's what this training is for. I think it makes sense. Audio is one of the more interesting ones because I really like it. So Audio is shown doing judo, and I think it's very important for Audio to learn how to do judo because it relates to his current weaknesses and performances in the NEL. So Audio has an incredibly large frame. He's tall, he's lanky, he's got long limbs. It lets him make blocks, interceptive plays, and can make incredibly high jumps, right? But for where he's weak, he's shown very poorly when it relates to man marking. So in the game against Ubers, when Hiyori subbed on, Audio was tasked with marking Isagi during the final couple chapters. Isagi stopped moving, and Audio was parked next to him. He says, I'm going to stop Isagi, right? I'm going to keep an eye on him. When they performed their no-looker chemical reaction, Audio couldn't keep up with Isagi because he broke past him, and Audio couldn't turn around and be more agile to catch up, right?
Yep.
When it relates to judo, players need tall athletes need to leverage their large frame and limbs when it relates to sweeps and control, right? For Audio, this allows him to have more dominance over plays for tackles. It gives him a larger blocking range with his talents and gives him a better interceptive range. So that already covers one of his weaker areas, being the more physical attributes and areas, right? But judo also requires fluid body movement, hip rotation, and timing, which also relates to the area that he was weak on that let Isagi score the goal, because Audio could not twist his body or keep up with Isagi's off-the-ball movements, and this allows him to kind of compensate for that one area that he was lacking in.
I mean, Isagi got past him pretty every time throughout the Uber's game.
Yeah, well, if you look at specifically Chapter 238, which is where the goal was scored,
Even
if you look,
the one he scored in the first goal too.
No, I'm not downplaying him since he like completely shut out Kunigami throughout that whole
Both
game.
goals he scored on because Aryu couldn't stop him. Both of them.
Well, Isagi was right next to Aryu, and Aryu just could not turn his body enough to keep up with Isagi.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it was more prevalent in the final shot too.
Yeah, so that's the main issue that arises from this, is that having him train in these areas, it lets him work on the one
Okay.
part of his defensive play that he needs to
I
improve
was gone for a bit. How many players have we talked about so far?
on. I actually think we're halfway. Actually, we're over halfway.
Okay, all right.
Nanase is pretty obvious. He's just training his ambidexterity. His ambidexterity was very poor. I think it's worth to highlight that he's actually one of the only players in the series who has natural full body ambidexterity. I think the only two other characters that we have confirmed for are Shido and Noa. Shido you can take with a grain of salt, but the reason people don't talk about Nanase that much is because Nanase is just very bad. The talent itself is good, but Nanase's application of it is bad. Green told him that he was horrible with it.
Laser
He was horrible, right? It was
needs
horrible.
to go.
But by Nanase, like he's using his chopsticks to pick up beans or peas. He's trying to harness equal control with it so he can understand his full body ambidexterity more, and he could potentially even maybe become a playmaker with his ambidexterity. I don't know. I think we could see it maybe in the U20 World Cup, but I think he does deserve some little bit of development. Sendo's is probably the most interesting out of any one of these because of all the jokes people make. Well, why is Sendo going hunting? Why is Sendo in the war? It makes sense, right? So Sando is holding a rifle in his Dowd and camouflage clothing, right? What it looks like to me is that Sendo is actually going hunting. And I think hunting relates so much because it relates so well to Sendo because of how closely it fits Sendo's character and where he needs to improve. When you go hunting, you need to be precise. You need to be patient. And with what we've seen with Sendo's history of accuracy, as seen in the U20 game, and his impatient and somewhat kid-like nature, having him go hunting makes a lot of sense for his character. But also, I think it could foreshadow Sendo awakening Predator Eye in the U20 World Cup.
Ooh.
So hear me out on this, right?
Oh, damn.
So
yeah, it's because we have the same agreements. That's why I'm reacting like that. Sorry.
So when you go hunting, how would you categorize aspects of the sport? Because I would say hunting is highlighted by the patience you need to have when hunting. You need to catch your prey off guard, and you need to wait for the precise moment to take a shot. Please explain to me how that does not sound exactly like how Barou uses his Predator Eye in the NEL. It is almost exactly waiting for the moment to strike, finding out where your prey is weak and not noticing, and then taking a very precise shot to a specific location. That is exactly how Barou uses Predator Eye. And considering how Barou and Sendo were on the same team during the NEL and Ubers, and Sendo was placed just behind Barou in the formation as a shadow striker, I feel like he could potentially correlate his hunting experience to Barou's training and shooting style at Ubers. I think he could definitely find that correlation, right? But also, it makes sense because Predator Eye is a restrictive ego limited ability or exclusive ability, and Sendo is a restrictive type of ego. He has a restrictive ego. When you look at where Sendo mentally appears the best, it's when he's under plays of immense pressure or stress, like when he intercepted Bachira's goal in the U20 game, or when he stopped Yori's shot during the Ubers game. They were both at very, very high pressure moments because if he didn't act, the game was over. Sendo coming in and stopping that play saved the game and therefore took them out of that very restrictive environment. But also, you could look at how he acted during the U20 game just before they entered halftime. When Sai sent the final pass to Sendo, Sendo was 100% locked in and confident on the play. It just happened that Rain showed up to stop him from taking the shot. But when it relates to his mentality, he was fully locked in and ready to act. He was not doubting himself during that play. So I think that also relates to Sendo having a restrictive ego type. And with the mangaka confirming that Sendo is going to have some future relevance in the story, I think it could make sense. Also, Predator Eye being given out to everyone. We have 4 users of Predator Eye, and I think we have like 9 users of Metavision. I don't think it's the end of the world if we get another Predator Eye user. Plus, this is just in Japan. We're 100% going to be getting a lot of people in the future having those weapons. Also, will Raito start fusing his copies together? I don't think he can. I think he's just going to do like them quicker in transition. So like Sai
Yeah.
to Rain, Rain to Sai to Yukimiya to Nagi. Like he'll be doing them very, very fast. I think.
Every fucking predator I use about the same meow. Yep, it is.
Although it would be cool to see half of his body covered in one copy and the other half of his body covered in another. But I don't know how that would work. Like, how are you going to use two different shooting styles at once? Like, how would he use Rain's Travella shot, but also, I don't know, the twin gun volley or the Yuki Miya's gyro shot? I feel like it'd be very 50-50.
Maybe he's
If
just
The
if
maybe
he
he's
can
twin gun
combine
trigger shot.
if he can combine it in any way, it would be super sick. But I think it's a case of just having to be able to use it more fluidly, like fluidly go in between different styles.
What
I
could he
mean,
possibly gain from copying Nanase? Better control over his full body dexterity to pretty much lock temporary or like natural or
Shibuya
some
couldn't
kind of
do on Glazes to
ambidexterity.
Nagi, you know. The way Nanase glazes Ren, Ryo could do that to Nagi.
Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
already does. But I think Sendo Awakening Predator Eye 100% is likely, given comments from the mangaka, his style of ego, the type of training he's having. I think it does very much so make sense. Is
Can
that
I?
bum Sendo gets Predator Eye? Next you'll see Nanase with Metavision. I don't know. I think Nanase is a genius, so I don't think he'll get. I don't think
I
he'll get.
mean, I don't know, bro.
But
He hasn't really shown any moments of the game revolving around him or having any special moments.
yeah.
I mean,
Because
just
we all pretty much downgrade him because he got a bit 9 million increase, and we all wanted Nagi back. So I don't know, bro.
OP, you
But
wanted to say something?
I was just
Just
gonna
because
say, I don't
something
think
exists
having genius
doesn't mean
traits
it's
mean
genius.
you're an actual genius.
I don't
well,
think that
yes,
makes
it
it
does. That's
automatically a
what.
genius.
Okay, to be a
No, no,
genius, you need
no.
to. Well, to be a genius, you need to have a specific ability mindset that can change that has the potential to alter the basic state of the world. And Noah has the ability, and that's what let him revolutionize soccer. Nanase has the exact same one. Therefore, in relation to the abilities and talents that they have, it would make him a genius.
No, but
No.
here's the thing. Even when it comes to Noah, when Isagi's pointing out geniuses, he doesn't point out Noah's ambidextrous, ambi whatever. He points out specifically Noah's mindset, and that's another thing. Because all self types are geniuses. Geniuses, they change the world because their revolutionary ideas come from their sense of self. When it comes to Noah, and you can go to the panel Isagi's talking about it, it comes from his junkie mentality, those insane soccer philosophies. So I think having unique traits that are born to you doesn't mean you're a genius if you don't have that selfish, that self-type mentality.
I can tell you right now that no, if I'm saying this respect, you're wrong about the thing with Noah. I read you the panel 165. I know better than anyone. Noah's greatest weapon isn't his perfect body or his brain. It's his ability to make incredible shots using either leg without any drawbacks. His God-given natural ambidexterity. This is the world. This is the genius I've chased after for so long. He can make a shot from anywhere with either leg. The world's greatest striker, Noah. Perfect ambidexterity, and then Isagi continues. Perfect ambidexterity is a rare talent possessed by less than 1% of humanity. He can make plays with both legs that most people can only make with their dominant leg, and he manifests this ability at a level that's unprecedented in the history of soccer. Noah's weapon of ambidexterity is his singular and unrivaled talent. That's what it means to be a genius.
No, here's the thing. Like, that panel is important, yes, but it comes from an earlier Sagi who still had the wrong idea of geniuses. If you go to the later chapters, I'm trying to find it right now, he actually counters this point himself. Let me actually get to when he starts to talk about geniuses. But he literally says this. Hold on.
Debate.
Geniuses and talented learners.
Trying to find it.
It's 282, I think, or 281 or 282 is when geniuses and talented learners exist.
Oh yeah,
But
you're right.
but that relates specifically to Ego's dialogue. So take Ego's explanation instead. There are occasionally copy errors, and the child is born with a trait that neither of its parents possess. For example, extreme smallness, height, speed, or sensitivity of feeling. In most cases, that child is singled out for being different or cannot compete with others, and so they are called out without passing on their genes. But in very rare instances, that trait happens to be advantageously suitable to their environment. That gene proliferates through natural selection, and the trait that was once a mutation becomes a new standard for the species. These genetic cycles repeat over and over again until the original species has become totally different from the creature. That's evolution. Honor says, how does that correlate to soccer? And he says, this is just my personal theory about talent, but the various evolutions human society undergoes are essentially the same as this. Humans born with traits that others lack have a hard time being understood and live difficult lives. But that might be a gene that will cause humanity to evolve. Those areas of differentiation produce unique expressions of body and mind, and there are some people who can cast those expressions out into the world. And amidst those, there are some with revolutionary expressions which are suitable for the era and circumstances. And these can change the world's standards. The ones with those seeds are what I call geniuses. Literally, you're having Noah's specific trait being exclusive to 1% of humanity's entire population. And Ego is saying that those who possess those traits that are very, very limited to the population are what make a genius a genius. So therefore, it's not just his junkie mentality. His junkie mentality helps, but I think his junkie mentality more relates him to being a restrictive ego than being a genius. Because he's wanting someone to push, he needs the pressure of a rival to push him to that next level. That's the junkie mentality that he has. If you want to look at chapter 280, it's not, is it 280? No, what chapter is it? It's 289?
What are you talking about?
Or 279? Oh, it's 279. When you have Noah. Noah says, the world's best, that's just the title others foisted onto me. All I've done is try to express the lifestyle of a striker completely, perfectly, and instinctually. Being the world's best is simply a result of that. And right now, the biggest threat to me is Loki. In the future, after I've settled things with him, come and try to surpass me, Kaiser. And Kaiser says, what the hell is this guy? And Noah says, I want to fight someone even stronger. And Kaiser says he's a soccer junkie down to his marrow. He's literally relating it to his restrictive ego of needing the pressure of a rival to evolve. That's related to restriction, not being a genius.
But Isagi also relates that mentality when it comes to him being a genius, when he says unhuman philosophies, those guys have those amazing things naturally. And in the background is a picture of Noah. So I don't believe it's purely one or the other. I think it's both, but still,
what chapter
I don't
is
think
this?
The literal the next few pages, chapter 280, early on.
Chapter 280. Let's see this.
Is swarming with geniuses, physical abilities, incomprehensible impulses, and unhuman philosophies, showing Rin and Noah. So I don't think Nanase is a genius.
I'm looking for the exact page. I'm looking for the exact. Here.
Page 16.
Wait, hold
Bro, I thought you said Nanase was a genius.
Me?
Hey, Guy Dragon.
Regardless how much. Wait, where? Sorry, I'm looking through. It's chapter 280, right? Because I'm blanking.
Yes, chapter 280. Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking. I see him say Rain is absolutely on the level of a genius. The same is true for Noah.
No, earlier on. Page 16.
Yeah, so it's at the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good.
I said earlier on. That's my bad.
No, you're all good. Brains, some special, but physical abilities beyond anything I've ever imagined. Incomprehensible impulses to score goals. Unhuman philosophies. Yeah, but he's saying physical abilities beyond anything he can imagine. He's not outruling that statement of his perfect ambidexterity. He's lumping them together. So physical abilities relates to Loki. The unhuman philosophies can relate to Noah, but it also relates to Rain. And incomprehensible impulses to score goals relates to Shido. But physical abilities, specifically stated by him earlier and by Ego himself, is what makes him a genius.
I still just don't, because here's the thing, it's not just the statement from Isagi earlier was from a lacking standpoint. The statement from Ego, yes, is correct, but at the same time, I don't think just being born with a unique trait is what makes you that's not the only thing. Like, you can have a unique trait, and if you lean into that, if your style revolves around that, if your selfish desires go with that, yes, you are a genius. But you can have a unique physical trait and not be a genius.
I mean, true, yeah. I mean, like
you can, but to the level of something like Noah, that is a genius quality. That is a genius trait. In the same way that what makes Loki a genius?
The speed.
Okay, so an uncomparable physical ability. That's what makes him a genius. How does that not
Uncomparable.
apply the same way to Noah?
No, it does. Okay, here's the thing. I'm using Noah to prove that Nanase is not a genius. I'm not saying Noah isn't a genius, including that quality. But saying if just when you said, just as you said earlier, when I said, oh yeah, that having an unique, quote unquote, unique physical trait isn't the only reason that you're a genius. You said that, yeah, but it applies to Loki, it applies to Noah. Yes, it applies to them, but it wouldn't apply to Nanase. So just lumping Nanase in just because he has ambidexterity, I can't speak, that I don't think is the correct thing to do, because I still can see what's his name, Nanase not going the path of a genius just because he has ambidexterity, which again is not technically unique anymore. It's still
One example.
it's not going to guarantee he's a
I would
genius.
say natural ambidexterity is. Trained ambidexterity from players like Kunigami and Isagi, they're not the same as what Nanase have and Noah have, where it's naturally engraved into their body that they are naturally ambidextrous. That is an entirely different thing. And even in the series, how many characters are fully ambidextrous? Like, okay, we have Noah, Shido, Kunigami, Nagi, Isagi, Nanase. Am I forgetting anyone? That's 6 out of how many characters we've seen in the series. So it is still
completely ambidextrous.
Here's the thing. Noah's ambidexterity is different.
I would say ambidextrous in the way that, like, we compare. Would you say Isagi's ambidextrous to a certain degree?
I mean, semi-ambidextrous, yeah.
To
a certain degree. To a certain degree.
Yeah, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 7 characters. How many characters have we seen in the series?
Okay, no. Your whole point here is going by the values, but that still just determines on what your definition of unique is. If you look,
it's not. It's what's specifically stated. If you have an ability that's 1% exclusive, if it's exclusive to 1% of humanity, and you have it, doesn't matter. Like the current society of how many people are semi-ambidextrous.
Okay, I have a question for you. How many people have Loki's speed?
The relative to do you mean Loki's speed is in like comparable to the exact same, like they are just as fast, or relative to Loki's speed? Because you have Loki's exact speed. I would say none that we know of. I think the closest person, honestly, might be Zantetsu. I think Chigity's faster than Zantetsu, and he has that genetic thing. But Zantetsu's way of accelerating is almost identical to Loki, nearly identical.
So
he's just slower.
Okay, and how many people have Rin's destructive philosophy?
One that we know of.
Okay, how many people has Shido's impulses to score goals?
To the exact description of like being to the exact description of like he busts when he scores a goal.
I mean, if you want to go that way, yeah. But his impulse.
I would probably say only Shido that we know of. I would say the closest person to Shido might be Nagi. I know Nagi is unmotivated, but Raito has significantly compared Nagi to Shido, or Shido to Nagi, on numerous occasions. And when you look at their talents, playstyles, and weapons, they're very, very similar. So I'd say the closest person to Shido is Nagi, despite him being unmotivated. But I digress. I think only one.
Yeah. Okay. And then you go to Noah. How many people have Noah ambidexterity? I can't say that.
I would say probably 2.
Okay. Now you look at all those other ones. Those are 1. But Noah is 2. If you look at unique in that terms, Noah's is not as unique as the others. Unique is just a comparison word. It doesn't have really value, because if you bring up Noah versus every player in the world, or the 2 players, Noah and Nanase, against all the BLUELOCK players, then yeah, it is unique. But if you look at it in comparison to other genius traits, it's not as unique as the rest. That's just how ambidexterity is.
But I could use the logic of the one argument you want to make for a lot of other characters. Like, how many people can copy people the same way Raito can to exact 99% of the original? One person, Raito. Like, the only other person close enough to that is Isagi.
And it's called a unique talent.
But it's the thing. The thing that makes the genius is the aspect of the 1% humanity. The statement we got from Ego himself and Isagi about ambidexterity. We have no reason to say that Isagi's thing was wrong because he's not labeling Noa as a genius in regards to the terms of a genius. He's specifically talking about Noa's weapon, which we cannot assume is wrong because there would be no reason for that statement itself to be wrong. The terms of talented learner and genius are terms that they're using to describe stuff, but natural full body ambidexterity is not just a blue lock term. It is a real life, understandable concept that exists. And the 1% fact, that 1% is data, that is accurate data that would be relevant to the real world within the series. Nanase having that 1% thing gives him the same metric that Noah uses to be a genius in the first place, right? Having that, and then sure, I will agree with you that the mental aspect is 100% an element that makes Noah a genius, right? But at the same time, his mentality is very much so the same to other restrictive players. Let's take a look at Barou. Barou wanted a rival to make him better. Barou, when he was at the top, did not evolve. When he was the king, he didn't evolve a single time, even from his childhood, because he relates his current mentality to how he acted as a child when he was like 6 years old to like 8. So a decade's worth of time, Barou was the same. Only when he was given a rival in Isagi did he push to evolve in the same way that Noah does. Look at Rain. He needs that stimulus of he needs that outside stimuli of pressure, to evolve. He needs that rival. He needs that person in Sai or Isagi. Take Kaiser. Kaiser needed that figurehead in Isagi to make him suffer, to make him have that external pressure. Noah has that exact same thing in relation to the junkie mentality. I'm 100% going with this. I know you could make another argument. I'm just saying the junkie mentality part is not something you could really use to justify that he is a genius, but is more something you have to use to justify that he is a restrictive ego type. But I do, to a degree, understand where you're coming from.
I fully agree with that point. And using the evidence to like show that Noah is a restricted type is very smart. And I just to finish this off, because it's probably taking way too much time. I didn't mean to go on like a thing like this, but to finish up, just the main thing is just I don't think we can lock in Nanase being a genius at this current point in time. That's just my final words on that.
I think it puts in the same boat as like Kaiser, right? Like early Kaiser, we didn't know necessarily the term of a talented learner, and Isagi called him a genius. I think we really need to see more from Nanase to do anything. Like, I'd also say he doesn't really seem to play like a talented learner. He's not very analytical of stuff around him, and he doesn't really form strategies in relation to other people on the pitch. He just forms it in relation to a single person and uses his stuff to leverage his body in the same way that like Kurona does. So that's where I put them being comparable.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
All right, I'm done. I'm shut up for the rest of the stream.
Anyone else have any opinion on that? Sorry.
Oh damn! I forgot there were other people here.
Yeah,
I apologize.
I'm going fried right now. So
my bad.
No, it was good. It was a good debate, good discussion, man. It's, everyone's free to talk their minds. Yeah, Errol, did you want to carry on with?
Oh yeah, I forgot I didn't
with the
finish
players.
that point. I forgot I didn't finish that point. Yeah. Okay. So Nico's obvious. He's just getting strength training. He's always been compared to being very weak, being very frail, being a shrimp essentially. So by him having strength training, he's kind of covering more of that area that he struggles with.
Nico comes back with a growth spurt. Let's go.
Nico comes back with Barou's physique.
Nah, bro, that's a cursed image. Do not do that, bro. That is cursed.
Still the same height though.
Have him come back with Barou's physique. I think it'd be very funny. No. Like have him be like 6'3" when he comes back.
Yeah, I hope so.
I saw someone do fan art where they took Barou in Ubers and they cut off Barou's head and they put Nico's head on it, and it looked so freaky. It was so funny though.
Yeah. Could you do a commission for like to see how Nico would look in the future, like look like 2-3 stages beside him, like adult kid and shit?
Yeah.
I'm confused. What's happening?
How do I best explain this shit? You know the
How
guy
do I
you
explain this
commissioned like
without
blue?
sounding weird? How do I explain this?
You'll be fine.
But I'll let you collect your thoughts, on that. So Hiyori's training, I think it is him looking and watching playing video games or watching something in relation to that. And I think it relates to the conversation he had with Isagi all the way back in the third selection about like the Tetris, like
Yeah.
acting reflexively, because now he's having to act more reflexively. His alley cross was a reflexive pass. His chemical reaction with Isagi was reflexive. Like having that reflexive action and being able to do it quicker and make his passes
Homie,
easier is definitely something I think he's going to train for. So I think
homie
that's what he's
just
doing.
homie just spent Elden Ring on the highest difficulty.
Actually, I'll tell you this now. The most important character who has the best training regimen is Fukaku. Unironically, it is Fukaku.
Bro,
The
you that
both.
vegan shit thing, bro.
Want me to
Homie,
explain?
that
I'll
vegan-
explain. Hear me out on this. Right? Hear me out on this. Looking at what Fukaku is doing, it appears that he is trained by sitting under a waterfall. Out of everyone, he's the most important training regimen for his character when you think about it, right? Fukaku is a character who doesn't get a lot of screen time or respect, given the Gagamaru's incredible skill and that likelihood that he's going to be our starting keeper. However, this training is meant to help him deal with this. By sitting under the waterfall, it helps him deal with the pressure of the insults that the community spews at him for being so dog shit at the
Hell
game.
no!
But also, it helps him
No!
learn patience while he rides the bench for his time to be
No!
subbed on,
Oh
which he
my
never will.
god! Bro, you put my whole
We just
attention
pulled the
on
rug.
that.
That's insane.
Incredible. Homie, that's
That
my
that's his training, and that's the purpose of his
Oh,
training
okay.
regimen.
God bless.
Now, can we agree? Most perfect training regimen. It's the
Yeah,
most important one.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I need him to come back humming manchas from the waterfall, maintaining his focus.
He's actually just trying to be like Gagamaru for real.
Speaking of
Nobody-
Gagamaru, he's next to
Nobody-
talk about. Gagamaru, his training regimen seems to have him playing baseball, and I think it'd be very interesting. Because Gagamaru playing baseball, he's practicing his reflexes with catching balls hit him.
Yes.
I think it's very I think it'd be interesting headcanon if he's actually on the pitcher's mound during this, because it could call to like the pitchers who have to quickly react to
Yeah.
shots that come right at them, so they have to try and catch it or move out of the way or whatever. I think it'd be very interesting for Gagamaru to train that way, and it'd be way more intensive training for him.
Might also
Is he like doing it against real actual legends in cricket?
Yeah,
Like, throw the ball
I'd assume people are
deep,
probably hitting baseballs, and he's probably trying to catch them or block or move out of the way or whatever, react to them
Cause I thought it
while
was
on the
like a
pitcher's
machine,
mound.
like, cricket balls out. But, okay.
Now,
Cool.
this one,
Wait,
I am
big
looking at
corona?
it in high quality. I am wrong. However, my statement does kind of relate. So I said that Yukimiya seems to be doing kendo. However, now that I look at the thing, it's an actual sharp katana. So he's probably doing the activity where you like cut the bamboo structure with the katana. And I think that this would relate to. I think that this would relate to Yukimiya's vision. So Yukimiya, whenever he gets more worked up, stressed, or exerts himself more, the more his vision becomes blurry, right? But by doing either kendo or by doing this bamboo cutting, he's actually working on his vision. So it allows him to focus on the spots so he can see the clear parts of his vision, to not be affected by this medical issue, to target those more precise areas. So you have to use the katana in a precise way to cut the bamboo by hitting it in the specific location to do so in a specific way. But also, if he's doing kendo, he needs to strike the opponent in the specific location at a specific time with a specific amount of power. So by dealing with that with his vision, making himself blurry and not being able to see, he's able to focus on those more visible spots to make himself a better player.
Yeah,
And
bro. I'll see you later when you see this man start saying Bankai, bro. Yep.
it does also relate to Yukimiya, because in the U20 game he was a very accurate shooter. In the ways that he could adjust the trajectory of his shot and target that he's going to hit at the very last second very quickly. And he was on target for the majority of where he was going to hit. It just happened that IQ jumped reflexively while in flow, so it took a flow IQ to stop Yukimiya's gyro shot.
Mm.
And in the NEL, Yukimiya awakens Predator Eye, which allows him to hit through tight gaps with little issue, which I think could also relate to either the kendo part or the bamboo cutting part because of the precision that he needs to have. Zantetsu, very obvious. He's working on his starting and acceleration to make himself be able to reach top speed faster, but also reach higher speeds at a quicker rate. Under Loki's tutelage, I don't know if he saw much of an increase to his speed at all. But this way, he's working on his acceleration, getting to his top speed as fast as possible.
Well, could be racing against Usain Bolt. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's why he's doing track and field. But yes, Usain Bolt is training him. But the final character to talk about is Aiku. And we see Aiku studying at a desk, reading some books, and what appears to be game material and game plans. I think this basically confirmed for Aiku that he's going to be the U20 captain. I think this stole the spot. I thought it was going to be Isagi, given with how Ego was presenting him in the previous chapter. But with what Aiku is doing here, studying game material and game plans, I think Aiku is going to be the U20 captain.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro is literally studying a book called Kingcraft. All right. Yep. He's about to be doing.
Well, it's soccer material. If you look at the other binders, it is soccer material. But if he is studying game material, it would make him a more knowledgeable person on the pitch to be the captain, right? Mm-hmm. He would have the experience as a captain, the abilities of a captain, the confidence that his team has in him as the captain, and now the understanding of these more complex plays, which he can then relay to his team as the captain. I think it makes sense. Aiku being captain here. He has the experience. He was the previous captain. I think he just tracks. I thought it was Isagi. I think I'm back on the Aiku train here. But yeah, that is the explanation of all of the training regimens for each of the characters, why Ego assigned to them to do this, and what the impacts of this training is going to have on them going into the U20 World Cup. I digress.
Well, I don't know. I just find it so hype. Like, in my own head, like, Aiku gets subs out. I don't know why, some reason. He just hands the armband to Isagi. Isagi starts locking in and shit.
That could very well happen, to be fair.
He just hands it to Isagi, bro.
That could very well happen. But yeah, I think Aiku is best choice to be captain. He's got the most experience out of all of them when it comes to the international stage. So it would make perfect sense for him to be the one. But I quite like the fact that he's brushing up on his knowledge and stuff like that, because it's clear that Iku's always been the type of player that doesn't play off just his innate physical attributes, but also plays off he plays with his head, plays with it's skipping me, plays with his brain. So him getting metavision, obviously that was a given, but now that he's leaning more towards the books and stuff, and we've already seen him bark instructions and things like that, that gives me way more confidence in him being able to organize not only the back line but organize the whole team going forward. Ero, I think you remember me and you, we had that discussion about why I thought Karasu would be a good captain. But I think that more applies to IQ now, with his metavision, with him learning, football tactics and the experience that he has already. I think you've got to give.
When you say Karos, I think when Karos just plays, he's just giving like high analysis to his teammates, like in the moment, and just tell them to do the right thing.
Yeah. And that's something you'd want your captain to do as well. But I can see IQ doing that as well. And I just think it makes perfect sense. But it's still in my hierarchy, I would have IQ first, and then I would have Karasu second. Karasu would be my vice captain in my hierarchy.
I would
agree
just
with
say
that.
Isagi. Like, I don't see Karasu playing every game. I see Isagi doing that, and Isagi outclasses Karasu in almost every regard that Karasu was a good captain for.
Yeah, but Karasu brings that assuredness, I think.
So does Isagi. He's the number one.
No, I hear that.
Doesn't make you a good captain just because you're number one.
Yeah, but he just brings
I'm
the
just sorry.
assuredness that he's gonna. Isagi actively communicates plans to his teammates all the time. Look at Raichi in the game against Ubers. He went over like, Raichi, do this. We're gonna lock
Good
these
night.
guys down,
I don't
and then it worked. Did the same thing to Hiyori and
Yeah.
Kunigami. It worked.
Yeah, I don't think mind reading another person's mind like Kaiser and Isagi were doing communicates.
I didn't even say that.
No, I'm just saying because like they're both reading each other's mind. I'm like, okay, bro, all right.
I only have like one real problem with Isagi being a captain. It's not like an actual problem. It's just what I feel is that he's still has a lot of unconscious bias to himself. And I feel like anybody who's out there to score goals is going to have that unconscious bias. So I'd rather my captain be an actual defender who can just not be biased when it comes to actually scoring. That's just my thing.
Well, I also think it relates to context. Like, Izagi talked with Raichi because he knew he and Raichi could lock down Snuffy. He wasn't going for the goal. He was just going for the play. He was going to stop their link up, right? Like, he wasn't saying, yo, work with me so we can stop them. That way I can score. No, he's just saying, okay, let's work together. You and I, we can stop them. That was his purpose. Going into games, Izagi has actively worked with other people to let them score goals. Look at what he did to Kunigami and Yukimiya. Like, he set them up to take shots. And Izagi isn't the type of person where he's mad if someone else scores. Like, he's mad if someone takes his shot. He's not mad if someone else scores. Like, he complimented Kaiser when Kaiser scored his Magnus. He talked up Yukimiya. He's like, yo, good fucking goal. He did the same for like Rain and Barou and Nagi. Like, he's a good teammate, and he actively communicates things to them quite often. And even then, you're like, oh, not a good captain. Izagi puts himself into situations that is easily understandable to his teammates, like Nagi, where he doesn't need to have that dialogue. Sure, having the vocal part is great, but if you don't need to, and you put yourself in a position where your teammate already knows what you want and what to do, so you don't have to put it out there and say it, I feel like that's even better than having to say it. Like, in the U20 game, Nagi knew exactly what Isagi wanted to do just based off of his positioning. He's like, oh, I know what you want to do, and then they had the play work out. Like, they don't need the dialogue of, oh, well, the reading each other's mind, but if Izagi doesn't have to say it out loud because he puts himself in positions where his teammates can automatically form the idea of what he wants and then actively do it, which a lot of people have been shown to do, I would say that's even better quality of a captain because he makes the plays understandable for his teammates without saying a word. And it leads to positive results.
Oh yeah, for sure. There is like the 1-2 mishaps, like what happened with Yukimi and the lob pass, but that's just like a given.
But that's a standard. Like, he was put in the position of like what he wants to do, but like from Yukimiya's perspective, he needed to give him the lob pass. Like,
yeah, exactly. It's just don't worry.
I'm not, but I'm not saying that Isagi wouldn't make a great captain. I think he would be a brilliant
also,
captain.
sorry, Raito. The thing with Yukimiya, I just want to point out, only was stopped because of Snuffy. If it wasn't Snuffy a goal would have been scored. So the best overall player in the series with the highest game IQ in the series was the only person who could have stopped them there. I don't really necessarily count that as a blunder.
I mean, plus, like you said, he needed Snuffy to react to him instead. So yeah, true.
It was a 40-year-old man. A 40-year-old professional player. It took a 40-year-old professional player who has rivaled Noah in moments of that game to stop Isagi's plays that he didn't even have to speak to his teammates about. They just knew what to do.
Snuffy manhandled Noah in that game, though. I can't lie.
Oh,
Lucky manhandled Noah.
For Barrow's goal, he definitely manhandled him.
Snuffy Noah is honestly potentially needs to go on fraud watch a little bit
That's what I was gonna say. Top 3
I'm
in the
not
world,
saying
not
he's not
top
good.
1.
Guys, we're not doing
I'm not
this.
saying he's
We're
not
doing
good
this.
because he's great. Top 1 best striker in the world, but that's a title given to him. That's the title that was given to him.
But
Like,
no, to be fair, Noah himself acknowledged that Snuffy was the better overall player.
but also Loki. Noah didn't win a single matchup against Loki.
Facts.
Ooh,
Yeah, Loki beats Noah right now. From feats.
I would rather have Loki as my main striker than Noah. Because speed,
God damn.
speed is busted.
to
No
be fair,
matter what.
but
Speed gets nerfed by the writer.
but do you know?
Literally.
Do you know one thing is though, we don't actually know if Loki's good at shooting though, like that. I mean, we've seen him score 1 goal in the series. That was in the World 5 game, but
I'd say
anyone
he
can score in
is.
5 aside.
Look at what he did with, like, I'll say this. When you're that fast, you don't need to be that good of a shooter.
No,
It's like
exactly.
Barcha with his dribbling.
I was about to say that, bro.
Like
Exactly.
Barcha and Lavinia with
but-
their dribbling. They're so good, they can just get past everyone and be point blank at the net. You
But
don't
that-
need an insane shot when you're point blank.
That's basically my point. Like he doesn't have to be really good at shooting, so we don't actually know if he is good at shooting. Like, could you imagine him scoring a long range shot? I can't personally.
I mean, he did score during the 5v World 5 match.
Yeah, I know, but those are smaller. Pitches and stuff. Like anyone.
No, but it
But-
did show like
Rin was scoring from.
Let me ask you: if you were on a team, who do you think who would you have the harder time dealing with?
Loki for sure.
The man who could run faster than a car.
Exactly.
Jesus,
Like
he's
Noah's
killer.
strong. Don't get me wrong, but be honest. If you hear me out on this, at Noah's level. So if you're putting him at like the world class level,
Mhm.
if you put 2 or 3 good defenders on Noah, is he scoring?
yeah.
If you put 2-3 good defenders on Loki, are they gonna stop him?
Hey, how
I
good?
think
Didn't
there's more.
Tokimitsu foul Noah?
I think there's
Yeah,
more. Tokimitsu fouled them, but it doesn't. Well, we don't know if no one wanted him because he said, "Okay, perfect range. It's within the range of the Kaiser Impact. Take the shot." We don't know if Noah was like letting him do that.
Yeah. Yeah,
like-
but the thing is, right? There's Loki will have a weakness, and that weakness could be his physicality. Maybe
Noah's gonna have a weakness. Like,
yeah, but I don't think Noah's weakness would be his physicality.
well, Noah was
we
holding
know-
Loki back, and he still managed to make passes.
Yeah, but what I mean is like we know that Noah can dribble, and we know that Loki can sort of dribble. Like he basically hit and run. But we know that Noah can dribble. We know that Noah has the ability to go left and right. With Loki, like I said, he has to have a weakness somehow. So I'm just trying to think of like ways in which you could nerf him without taking away his speed.
The only way you could stop Loki is just don't let the ball get to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Seriously, I looked through all of Loki's things. I had a theory on this. I wanted to make a video. From what we've seen of Loki, as soon as he gets the ball, the moment he accelerates, you lose.
Yeah,
Because he's going to get that ball past you.
Bro,
The
I
only
swear to
character
God-
I could ever see keeping up with him is Shigiri and Zantetsu double pressing.
Bro, I swear to God, if this is, I'm thinking about something right now. It just popped in, bro. Imagine Loki's just sprinting at Barcha. Barcha uses that speed against him and just rainbow flicks over him.
Oh, you
Loki
mean
can
like
just
as
catch
if
the
Baxter's got the ball?
Loki's
Yeah, he
gonna
just
get
does
the
what
ball before it
Tokimitsu
drops.
does.
Loki's gonna get the ball before it drops.
No, I'm saying like keep someone on him before he even reaches Barcha. But as soon as
Yes,
he tries,
but like, okay, let's say Loki's full speed sprinting at Bachata, and Bachata gets the rainbow flick over him. Loki's just gonna turn around and run back at the ball before it even lands at Bachata's feet.
man, you better Shaolin kick that nigga, bro.
That's the thing. Like Barcha's not a fast dribbler. Like he has decent pace, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna be fast.
Bachata broke past Kunigami simply because Kunigami was being used as bait. If Kunigami wanted to, Kunigami could have just Kunigami locked down Shido.
It's going to be interesting to see who actually is the one that has to match up against Loki.
I don't know, bro.
But I actually reckon it's not gonna be a speedster. I reckon it's gonna be someone more physical.
I don't know. I mean, it could be Isagi, just mentally triggering
Nah,
him.
never Isagi.
No.
I'm
It
not
might be
saying-
Rin.
I got one. Hear me out on this.
Yeah, Rin
4 people.
is a good shout.
4 people.
The
4 people.
person man
You
mark.
put, no, listen, hear me out. Hear me out.
Got 4
You put
France players.
you put no. Listen, you put 2 on Charles. You put 2 on Loki. Dedicated to them. You put Hiyori and Karasu on Charles. Hiyori has stopped Charles before, and Karasu knows how Charles likes to play because he was feeding the ball to Charles. Put those 2 Metavision users on Charles to stop that ball from reaching Loki. Then put Chigiri and Zantetsu on Loki to keep up with his pace, and if the ball does squeak by Karasu and Hiyori, knock that shit away from him. Zantetsu can match Loki's acceleration because they reach top speed incredibly fast. In terms of like their 0 to 100, I would say Zantetsu rivals Loki. Not being their 100 speed, but in terms of like how fast they can get to their top speed.
Yeah.
Be like split seconds.
Once Zantetsu reaches his top speed, if he can get a hold on Loki and slow him down, Chigiri is immediately catching up and holding him back as well. That is 2 people locking him down. I think if you knock the ball away from him, I think that's the only way they could do it.
Bro, we about to get a fucking reverse flash and flash.
Dude,
I'd be so down for
how
that.
cool would that be? Imagine Loki sprinting around the field, and you have Chigiri and Zantetsu just fucking it around with him. Because, like, what other reason would Chigiri have to train his heart? Running that much, he's going to get so burnt out of stamina. He's going to be so burnt, his lungs and heart are going to be dying.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm dying right now.
Debbie, what did you just say? I didn't quite hear you.
I'm surprised that no one's like proper like mentioned Loki's actual weakness yet.
What is it?
What is
We
it?
don't have one.
Arrogance?
It's said in the World 5 game by Rin, your route is too obvious. Loki is predictable with his runs.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh, yeah, but he's fast.
yeah.
Yeah, but that
That's such a great way to put it.
Wait,
Yeah.
seriously, if I know a bullet train is coming, doesn't mean I can stop the bullet train.
That's a bullet train.
Okay, I can see the trajectory of a bullet. Doesn't mean I'm stopping the bullet.
Barry Allen, bro.
Again, that's a bullet.
Dude, no, if you do any of like the actual
I
calculations,
can see where Usain Bolt is running on a track and field, whatever the hell it's called, field, court, fucking pitch. I don't know, but doesn't mean I'm stopping him if I get in his way. Because also, what's stopping Loki? Oh, you predicted my route? Okay, sidestep, boom, boom, around you.
Yeah, it's but I think OP was right. It seems to be a Rin matchup. So Rin's gonna have to develop that 4-meter radius thing.
This is where Igaguri could have come in clutch.
no, do not mention that name here.
Bro, chill,
Keep
bro.
him at the
Bro,
shrine.
he's back to the boot, bro.
But Aero, isn't that why Rin's at Ikaguri's temple right now? Trying to learn the ways.
Nah, you're gonna have we'll have Fukaku come in and break Loki's kneecaps.
Nah, bro.
Literally break his leg bone, have the bone pop out, and be like, "All right, get red carded, get out of here."
All he needs to
That's
do
his only
is
purpose.
all he needs to do is just drool over all over the field and just get the grass with. That's all. We about to start something.
But this is why I reckon Loki doesn't play most of the matches in the U20 World Cup. I reckon he's just there as an auxiliary player. He probably needs to be there.
You guys,
I swear right now he might be a bench. He might be on the bench and just
Yeah.
Loki.
as well. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he's not bad, but I'm
No.
Not because he's bad, but because he's too good.
yeah.
His
that's-
entire purpose of the NEL was to train Charles. U20 World Cup, Charles will be playing. You think Loki's not gonna play with Charles?
I mean,
The fuck?
I mean, he got 3 minutes on the
I
pitch
don't
to
think
play with
Loki's
Charles and
he's
nothing
on
happened.
the pitch.
I'll tell you this.
Because he's a full international already. Like, he's not really meant to be there.
Do you think? Hear me out on this. Hear me out, right? Do you think we have Loki, we have Charles? There is a France New Gen 11.
Exactly.
Do you think that guy would be a goalkeeper or a defender?
I predicted goalkeeper.
Because you have Karasu and Hiyori covering Charles. That's the midfield. You have Chigiri and Zantetsu, and then the defensive line covering Loki. But who are the strikers going to go against? If the strikers just have bootleg defenders, it makes it no fun, right?
I said goalkeeper in the videos he's cooking up.
Do we really need a GK?
I think another outfield New Gen 11 on France's team will be so overkill, having Charles, Loki, and the New Gen 11. So I think he's going to be a goalkeeper personally.
Okay, bro. The first one to stop a Kaiser Impact. The first one to stop it with your hand.
He stopped it.
No, I'm talking with your
I mean,
hand.
like goalkeeper, yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
You're about to start saying, bro, nah, bro, that shit too slow, bro.
That'd be spicy. Yeah.
We about to do the light skin catch, bro.
That's crazy. Look at the camera mid catch.
Beef and onion crisps.
We're about to say,
sorry to keep doing this. I got to dip. I got a video to make, and I don't want to be up till 6 a.m. again.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, it'll drop tomorrow at 9 a.m. So I'll see you guys then.
If I don't see it, I'm coming.
Yeah, it better be at 9 to see you.
It's going to be. I have not missed an upload yet, and I don't plan to. So I will put it up there. So I will.
For extension upload schedule.
Oh, dude, don't. I'm getting flashbacks. I don't want another 9 months, bro. Comes back with another child.
Alright, I'll see you, bros.
Yeah, see you, Ariel.
Yeah.
Bro,
Daddy, what did you just say just now? I didn't catch it.
Beef and onion crisps suck. These are the worst crisps I've ever had.
Why do you have beef and onion crisp?
I'm hungry.
Bro, you choose that?
It's the only flavour. And for good reason too.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know the last time I had that flavor, Chris. That's not. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, you guys. So you know during in the chapter, Ego speaking to Henri says he's got extra workload or something like that. And that's why he's like, he's pulling all nighters and stuff. What do you guys think that is? Do you guys think that's something to do with what happened between him and Baratsuta, or do you think it's just like that's just some regular stuff?
I mean, I'm cooking in the morning, bro. He probably not. Okay, what? Okay, let me stop. All right.
What?
I'm a dip. Yep, y'all got it.
Yo. Nah, I think it's just Ego doing Ego things, because he did something earlier. He did something similar after I think after U21, like after the BLUELOCK beat the U20 team, he did the same thing.
He didn't have any bags under his eyes.
Cause I was thinking maybe, right, it's got something to do with some additions to the team or something.
Additions,
Are you hinting at that?
Nah, please no.
Yeah, you guys reckon that we're past that? That's not happening. Nagi, Sai, you reckon there's no chance of that?
Nagi will come back, but not now though.
No. I mean for U20 though.
Oh, U20.
I want to see him play for Spain or some things.
I don't think Sai will.
What'd you say, Daddy?
I want to see him play for Spain of all things.
Yeah, true.
Okay, yeah.
And then, wait, hold on. And then he gets absolutely thrashed by Loki and France. Like, absolutely curb stomped, humiliated. And then he sees BLUELOCK Japan beat Loki. And he's like, damn. Okay.
Would that make him just like a mercenary though? Like he's only going back to Japan because he sees that they're decent again. It's not.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's what he's waiting for. He wants to see a striker come out of Japan that's worthy of his passes. At the end of the U20 game, you said Isagi could be it, which means he isn't there yet.
Mm.
And we don't know what Sai's perspective on the U20, no, on the NEL is because we haven't seen it yet. So that's up in the window. So if he plays for Spain, there's just a chance to play for a decent country, sees Japan doing well, and it could even be have Rin be the one that scores the winning goal, which can act as a sort of development or maybe even a conclusion of the Itoshi brothers' dynamic, or at least have it change in some way because of this. Have Sai integrate into the Japan team now that his main criteria for joining Japan has now been fulfilled. There's now a striker worthy of his passes. It could be Isagi, Rin, whoever.
Can I say something?
And then with that, we now have Sai there with a reason to be there, as well as his criteria being fulfilled. He wants to kick Loki's ass with Japan.
Yeah, fair.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go on.
Sure.
I know it's probably just dumb. These ideas just keep popping in my brain, but anyway. I found Rin's training interesting because it reminded me a bit of stage mode Naruto in a way, because it reminds me of it because in the when he was learning stage mode Naruto, you get hit every time he was turning into a frog.
Mm.
And when Rin got hit, I don't know how the old man sensed it that he was thinking about something destructive.
Yeah.
But every time Rin gets hit, the old man probably knows that he's probably thinking about something. And this, I don't know. That's all I'm just.
Yeah, he probably started drooling or something. I don't know.
Drooling
He's sticking his tongue out and stuff. But yeah, okay. Yeah. My hope is we don't we don't see Nagi just yet.
Yeah.
And Sai, I actually hope Sai plays for Japan or doesn't play at all. I get the whole Spain thing. It would be cool. I'm not against it completely. It would be cool, and
Is
it
Nagi in his final year of high school?
yeah, and I know it wouldn't really matter. If he plays for Spain, he can still play for Japan later on. That's cool, but I I don't know. I think I would prefer if he wasn't if he's not playing for Japan. I'd prefer if he wasn't playing at all. Um, but that's just me personally. Uh, I just feel we've got so many other characters. Like we're gonna get introduced to something like what 9 new characters. Sorry, 8 new characters at the very least. So all the other new gens. Um, so I can imagine every single game that we get to see in the U20 World Cup will have a new Gen 11 player on that, on the opposition team. Um, but yeah, that's just my fault.
Actually, yeah.
And also, if Sai's playing for Spain, does that
I
mean there's still a Spanish new Gen 11 player that is inside?
Could be. I mean, Rin.
don't know, but chuck the Spain thing out the window. It turns out it takes 20 years. No, not 20, 10 years to get citizenship.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was 5. Didn't Aero say it's about 5? And then.
Well, okay, to quote,
Mm-hmm.
a footballer can typically acquire a Spanish citizenship within 2 years if they are a national of an Ibero-African country, such as Andorra, Philippines, Equatorial Guinea, or Portugal, or if they are from Sephardic Jewish origin. I doubt Sai is Jewish. Otherwise, the standard time frame for naturalization is 10 years of legal residency in Spain.
Wow.
Damn, he's not even close. He's like 5 years now.
Yeah, I think it's about
Yeah.
5.
Halfway there.
So
Not even,
I have,
may-
not even close. I
maybe,
say he just shows up at Japan somewhere. I don't know.
but maybe youth football has different rules.
I know maybe they
No,
could
this is
Because
uh,
just think about it, Dedu. There's so many youth footballers here in England that can represent England, even though they're not born in England, but they play in England.
it's typically if they have a relative of English descent.
Hmm.
Yeah, that sucks.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not completely against it. I just don't know how it works with like the whole new Gen 11 things. If those countries that we actually saw are the where the new gen representatives are from, then that means Japan is one of those. But if Sai is playing for Spain, then how is he Japan's new gen representative?
Mm,
Well, just
uh,
because you like change your main nationality to something else doesn't mean that you're not the
Yeah,
other nationality. Like, it
maybe
doesn't
maybe
mean
it will
it's
show
top
that
up his mother in
maybe it
Japan.
will show Sai is playing for them for Japan, but it's just not no one's coming up about the topic. He could be playing for Japan. Spain is a whole different story right now, as y'all talking about. But
mm.
uh,
Yeah, it's a weird one. It's logistically it's gonna be a hard one. I like it wouldn't surprise me if Sai just doesn't get involved at all. Um, and you just save Sai for future arcs. Um, and the next time we see Sai, he's playing at full strength and he's a different animal altogether. But in this tournament where we're gonna get introduced to all these other new Gen 11 players, it seems a little weird not having him mentioned even once when we've got mentions of Loki being involved, and Loki
n-
like he's not even a new Gen 11 player.
not not gonna lie, I want to see Sai's interaction with Don Lorenzo. I don't know. I just find that intriguing.
Yeah, that would be quite intriguing, to be fair. Intriguing. So where do you guys think
Yeah.
Isagi's off to? I know Dedu.
Mm,
Was it Dedu?
I mean, next chapter is called Hello, so I think that might be a Sagi chapter.
Mm.
Someone could be greeting him and he just ends there saying hello.
Okay, so do you think Isagi is flown out somewhere
Yeah.
already? Yeah.
He said plane ticket, and
Actually,
everyone
I think
else has their own training arc. And Isagi's was shown less in a way. If that
Yeah,
makes
Isagi wasn't really shown this chapter.
like it would have been cool if we got a look like a panel of him with his brain exploding and
I
thinking
I
about
would go on Dedu. Sorry.
they do.
yeah, I was gonna say something creative. That I'm pretty sure if we get like a fully fledged Spanish New Gen 11, it's gonna be a striker.
You reckon? What because
I'm
Suki
almost certain.
video, and I've done like he's asked me to put my predictions in it of which players are gonna go where. Let me just try and get it up here. I'll let you guys know what I've predicted. Um,
While that goes on, I wanted to ask. So, to play for the Spanish team, is it like only citizenship, or could you also have a passport?
Passport is citizenship.
Yeah.
Okay, and I assume temporary passports don't apply to that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You don't really get a temporary passport in a way. It's what it is. That if you get like a passport, that is your like national passport. For example, I have a passport for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That is my country's passport. I can go to countries where this passport is applicable, where I don't have to have like visa checks or banned from the country entirely. But let's say if I go and move to Spain and go work in Spain, I wouldn't get any form of like temporary citizenship. I would be a British citizen with a UK passport living in Spain. But once I have lived there for 10 years, and that would obviously be on like housing records, like Dedu came here in 2026. It is now 2036. He's been here for 10 years. I can then legally apply to get a Spanish passport, which would essentially just be like a duplicate passport. I would have a UK passport and a Spanish passport.
Right.
What you need to
Okay.
do to play for like a national team is to be a citizen of that country. Either if you're born there, you have a parents
Does that
live
apply
there.
to the under 20s though?
Yeah, no, I had a question because Sai has a temporary Spain passport. He said his passport expired,
But yeah,
so
that
Yeah,
I
was
no,
don't
like
know
that's
what's
no,
going
that's
on with
his
that.
Japanese passport. That's his Japanese
Yeah, I think that
passport.
was his
Wait, why would it expire then?
because
Passports
they
expire
expire after
every
years, isn't it?
passport. For example, you get a passport and its set date is the day that you got it. I'm pretty sure children's passports U16
5.
end in 5 years, and an
Yeah.
adult passport expires in 10
10.
years.
Yeah.
So there's expiration dates for passports. Considering Sai's age was about 19 and he moved to Spain 4 years ago, he would have been 15 when he went. So he probably would have gotten like a children's
Yeah. 5
passport,
passport. Yeah.
which would have expired in 5 years.
I don't
So
know.
by the time he was about 19 when he got there, that passport would have gone through about 4 years. Let's say Sai got his like passport a year earlier
A
to
year.
go
Yeah.
abroad on holiday or something, then it would be expiring then. So it's just natural passport expiring.
I don't
Ah,
think.
gotcha. Thank you.
No
I
worries.
don't think Sai will play for Spain. That's my opinion, by the way. I don't think he will play for Spain. I
Mm.
think he's been watching the NEL, sees Rain, Isagi, everyone doing their thing. I think he'll
Lukewarm.
be I think he'll be intrigued in the. Okay, never mind.
But
Then again, we have Igori who's here, and that will probably cut off years development. So
Yeah, I kind of think this chapter deconfirms Sai playing for U20 because Ego's plans for his like X23 chemical reaction. I
mm,
yeah,
think that's just for the
Involved
23 players.
clinical
It's not
players.
gonna include.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
don't
not gonna
think he'll.
include
I
anyone
think he
else.
pretty much confirmed to not play for Japan.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
certainty at this
Maybe
point.
they bring back Saya like a secondary coach helps. Doesn't sub himself in, but helps. I don't know.
I
He
Maybe.
can be the
think.
mascot.
You know
Maybe.
what I?
That'd
You
be
know what I think happens?
go
I
on.
think like we get you remember what happened to Kunagami, like how after he in like second selection he lost to like Shido, but we didn't see that happen for like a while
Yeah.
until like after the U20 like Blue Lock versus U20. So what I think happens is we don't see Sai at all, or we see him in one single panel of him losing to France, and then after the U20 thing is over, then we get like a flashback arc with Spain versus France. That's what I think happens.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then he would still be playing for Spain in that
Yeah,
squad.
Yeah, but we
that's the thing.
wouldn't see him at all.
That's the thing we're trying to debunk though. Would he play for Spain?
I mean, I think he has to, no? Like, I don't think Ego has planned for side joining. I don't think Ego would even let side
Yeah,
join
but
right
that's
now.
the weird thing. So I was gonna say like if he was in the Spanish team, then wouldn't like someone would have heard like oh someone would have said something. There's no way the Blue Lockers are going out of the Blue Lock facilities, going around their regular life, and no one's gonna mention. Oh, by the way, Sai's playing for Spain now. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
We
I think
saw
that same.
we saw how big a fanfare it was. Just the
yeah.
fact Sai was playing for the Japan U20 team in the U20 match.
I'm calling my bids right now, bro. If Sai shows up in the next chapter and says hello to Isagi, yeah, that's the only
Yeah,
mention. I'm just trying to say that now. If he shows up the next chapter and he's the one teaching Isagi at like Larel or some weird special, I don't know. But if it's him, yeah,
that's
Yeah,
what I think it is. I think that makes the most sense. Sai is still going to be played for Spain, and it's been saved. So when Isagi goes to Spain, it's like, oh, big reveal.
maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, here I've got my predictions anyways. So for goalkeeper, I've put France, um, and like I said before, it's because I think it'll be overkill having Loki, Charles, and another outfield new Gen 11 player on France's team. Um, if Loki doesn't end up being that new Gen 11 player, or if Charles doesn't end up being that new Gen 11 player. So I put goalkeeper for France. Um, for Morocco, I put right back, obviously Hakimi.
Oh,
For
you're using your real names? Okay.
well, no, I'm just saying like I put him at right back because of Hakimi. Obviously, he's Moroccan as well, best right back in the world. Um, for left back, I've put China. And that's
China or
that's
China?
basically because I didn't know where else to put China. Uh,
Oh, his name is China. Okay.
In
yeah.
the midfield, spreading their communist passes, equal passes for all.
And then centre back, obviously we've got Don Lorenzo, so we've got Italy there, and then I put England for centre back.
Fair.
Yeah, I put England for centre back, big, strong, physicality, and then for on the right, I put Spain, Yamal and whatnot. And then on the left, I put Egypt on the left, and on the in the center. Wait, one sec. In the center. So on my predictions, I had Sai playing for Japan. So I've got Sai in the center, and I also got Brazil in the center.
Ooh.
And I was saying like the Brazilian centre mid will probably be the best new Gen 11 we see. Um, and then up top, that leaves the US of A's, obviously apart from Kaiser, who is Germany, because I've got two up top. I love my 4-4-2. So I've got two up top. I've got two center, two central, or four midfielders. And four defenders. But I've put Kaiser top, and I've put the target man to be the American. So I've got an American target. And yeah, that's my prediction. And Suki's doing a video. So once that's out, make sure everyone watches it. Good one.
What's in the background?
So who would that video be, John?
He's working on it right now. So hopefully in the next day or two.
Oh,
So,
okay.
do you want me to say the reason why I think a new Gen 11 striker would be Spain?
Yeah, go on.
Because that new Gen 11 Spanish striker would be the same player that crushed Sai's dreams.
Oh, GG's.
Okay.
There's
So
no
GG's.
way
you're
it
not
was.
under the lunar train, no?
No,
Luna.
that should be called the Luna chain, to be honest. Why would Leonardo Luna be, at Real Madrid's subordinate teams? Like, people provide their evidence being, oh, well, Luna knows who Sai is, Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Mm,
Like, it's not like Sai was a bad player out there. He just had to transition to the midfield. And why would Luna be the one that crushed his dreams? You'd have no reason to really go down there. He would have heard of him, no doubt. Like us, regular people, we know about players in teams' youth academies. So
mm,
why wouldn't Luna for his own team? So what we know is that Sai would have met at least like one person that was overwhelmingly better than him as a striker. And considering that Real is a Spanish team funded by the Spanish government, their academy would be heavily centered around Spanish players, which is why a lot of their young players that aren't Spanish usually bought overseas, like Endrick, Rodrigo, Vinicius from Brazil.
yeah.
There's Fede Valverde. They bought just players that weren't from Spain from overseas for fees, whereas a lot of their academy players are Spanish, like Asensio, who's coming through at centre back. He's Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Ceballos came from the academy, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah.
he did.
So it would make sense from that parallel that this amazing striker who was able to outdo Sai, who was better than basically probably every player on the pitch during the U20 game as a striker, there was somebody better than that who probably would have been Spanish, which means we've got a young player in Real's youth academy who's playing striker and is Spanish and is better than Sai. So it would really add up that this player would be good enough to be a new Gen 11 if he's better than Sai.
Yeah, that would make sense for sure. But you got to remember, just because he might be in Real Madrid's youth setup doesn't necessarily make him Spanish.
But again, I provided my reason why he most likely would be.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, either way, it makes sense. It makes sense. There's no reason why it can't be. It can't be him. But then again, that just means Barcha are just bad.
Yeah, probably.
Just makes Barcha really bad. Like they've done them
Which
so
I don't like,
dirty.
because, Barcelona literally have one of the best academies in world history, La
Exactly.
Masia. And they also brought out lots of their talent from Spain, like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Jordi Alba,
Mm-hmm.
and even like Lionel Messi from Argentina. Argentina was a country once controlled by the Spanish Empire, so he's like basically Spanish anyway.
Okay, so
Spain itself is a very kind of keep to itself nation.
it
Like, they
is.
are the only country with a club that has player restrictions, which is Athletic Bilbao with its Basque policy.
Yeah, Basque. Yeah, but I think that's just a club policy, isn't it? It's not like a. It's not like really like something that's legally enforced, is it? Like if the club
I
really
wouldn't
wanted,
say like
if they really
legally enforced.
if they really wanted to play acquire a player from outside of Boston, they can do. It's just they just decided not to.
It's basically like an unwritten rule in a way.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
also, again, Spain is the only country with such a policy, which is chosen like by the people there who would be Spanish. So we've got three examples of three of the biggest Spanish teams. The only three teams that have never been relegated from the Spanish tier. All are very Spanish centric. You've got Real and Barcelona's academies, and you've got Bilbao's Basque policy.
yeah,
So with Sai going to Real, where it's going to be very Spanish centric, and being outdone by a striker from their academy, it would make sense why it would be someone Spanish.
yeah, for sure. So Ari here says, who do you think will be top 6 if there's gonna be a ranking after the U20 World Cup?
I'd say Isagi, Rin, Rayo. Yeah,
Rayo
Isagi, Rin.
third. I mean, all right. I mean, he's
Rayo
about
was
to
being
clock.
hyped up to be
Wait,
like
is
the
is this
best player we've ever seen.
is this in order? Are you going in order?
Just coining, not in order. But I'd say like Isagi, Rin, Rayo, maybe Barou, Batra, Chiguri, maybe Shido up there. But I think just they seem like kind of just the top tier of characters, with
Yeah.
everybody else kind of like a level below them.
Okay. What about you, Um. Uh. Sorry. Leo. Sorry.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What
So
do you think will be the
I
top
mean,
six at the end of the?
top six. Okay,
The end.
okay. I'm gonna put. I mean, I don't know everyone else's training regimen, but I mean, I don't know how everyone else is gonna come out. I mean, Barrow is probably gonna learn more physicality and shit, but my guess I'm gonna put Rin,
Mm.
no Isagi, Rin, Rayo,
Ren Isagi Ren.
Barrow.
Dagi, Rio, Barrow. Two
Okay,
more.
let me restart all that.
It doesn't have to be.
Isagi,
Just
Rin,
who you think gonna be.
Rayo,
Three more.
Barrow.
Two more. Oh, is he gone?
Shido
You there?
and Bachira. Bachira.
No Jiggery.
Shido and
Do you think his leg's gonna get blown?
Who's like Chigiri? Probably yeah. I don't know.
I think it's just a toss up between like kind of those seven that are like the seven top tiers of Blue Lock,
Yeah.
like the seven deadly sins.
OP, what? Who,
Ooh,
you,
give you
Oh,
guys an
mine's is probably.
wait, you cut off OP.
Damn.
Sorry, I pressed my thing by accident. Mine's in order is Isagi, Rin, Bachira, uh,
Ooh,
Ooh, Bachira.
Rayo, Barrow, Chigiri.
Okay, you
fair
have
enough.
Bachira third.
Yeah. Sorry, what was that?
So you have Bachira third
Yes, Batra third, Rayo fourth, Barrow fifth, Chigiri sixth.
and no Shido.
Fair.
I don't like Shido. No, he
Yeah,
sucks.
I don't rate. I don't. I don't rate him, man.
That'd be like me putting Karasu 24th and having him kicked
Oh.
out. Get him out of here. Get Nagi back. I'd rather have Nagi.
Yeah, that's probably what I think is
De-
gonna happen.
Yeah,
decreases
mine is
dustiness of
pretty
the team.
much. It's gonna be Isagi, Rin, Barrow. Then I'm gonna have Chigri. Uh, then I'll have uh what do you call it? Bachira, and then
Kunigami fodder.
no, not Kunigami. Then I would have Rayo because I think Rayo is gonna
Yeah,
have to step up here. I do think he's gonna have to step up here.
yeah.
But for with Rayo, it's a for me. I'm still questioning, but this chapter's given me a good case to believe in him.
I
Uh,
do really like this chapter for Rio because it proves in that debate that I had with Aero last time that Rio can indeed learn efficiently through recordings.
mm.
So yeah, take that.
Yeah.
Master copy.
That's true. That's very true, man. That's very.
Yeah. I told him wait and see, wait and see.
A validation.
E-
I still, but
ego says that Rayo's good enough to learn from it, so he's good enough to learn from it.
I still think Rayo does learn better from seeing in real life than from footage. Uh,
Well, we're gonna watch him and see whether he cooks or burns.
yeah, I mean, I really want to see him copy the skills of someone that's not on the pitch with him at the same time.
They'll be like, "Who the hell is that guy?" It's Ted.
Ari says no Kunigami mentioned. And to be fair, I do not
Kunigami fodder.
think Kunigami is that good.
He's just a musclehead.
I, I, I,
Emo musclehead.
I don't like. I think he has all the potential to be a great footballer in general, but I just don't think he's gonna be able to use all that potential because I think his mindset is broken, and I think with the mindset that he currently holds, I can't see him being a top player. I can't see it. Um,
I
We
think
haven't seen
Kunigami's going to be the
Shido's
best
just a
post
win.
player.
yeah, I think he's gonna be a support character.
Yeah, it'll just be like, that one dude's being annoying. Go get him.
Yeah.
Okay, well, don't be so gloomy about it.
He's such an emo man. It's mad.
An E muscle.
But Ari says, funny thing is, right? Shido can score just one goal and still be top six. Think about it. He is top three, yet has no backstory, no evolution post U20, and uh no relation to the MC like Rin, Bachira,
And Rin,
and Rin.
Rin is such an MC, he gets a double mention.
So if Shido gets even a slice of what Barrow got in terms of development, yeah, I mean that. But actually, that shows how scary Shido is because he's been able to make it this far and be this good, like good
See,
in
I don't
quotation.
think he's even like
I
really.
say good in quotation marks. Like he scores goals here and there, but he's been able to get this far without all that backstory stuff. But maybe we don't know. Maybe when we do get to see some backstory from him, maybe we'll see an evolution, and like Ari says, a development of his character, and he
Super
might,
zesty.
yeah, he might actually justify why he's been put up so high recently. Um, but yeah, I just don't think Shido's that good of a footballer. I just think he's good at kicking the ball into the net.
Yeah,
True.
so the thing about Shido is that I don't think he's actually gotten much better since the third selection.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, what I
He
have
just
think that
stood
people
there.
have surpassed him and he's just stagnant for a bit.
Yeah, so you reckon he's not gonna
Like he,
in this upcoming arc?
I
oh,
think what it
Ego
is that
didn't really do anything.
he's not gonna
Ego,
get like better or worse, but the improvement of the other players around him is gonna naturally push him like lower in the rankings. And then what that happens is that I think this is actually something set up by Ego, which involves his like bucket list task. He fulfills basically everything that he deems fun, and football is all that he's got left. Which means seeing him like trickle down the rankings and not being able to play the football that now basically is like life revolves around.
Mm.
Saying life revolves around football, but from Shido's perspective, that would be him losing the one thing that is like so important to him. And Ego is just like, yeah, I'm Eisen, that's all part of my plan. And then Shido's just like, hell no. Gets like on the pitch and just then has like mega evolution, something that was like planned and triggered for by Ego from this point.
He goes on a mad dribble.
Yeah, take away everything else that can distract Shido, have everything centered on football. His lack of development pushes him down the pecking order. Shido feels this pressure, doesn't have really anything else to turn around to,
Mhm.
and then in that restrictive environment, cracks and evolves.
Okay.
And then it makes Ego look like a mega genius.
Well, I mean, he already does look like a mega genius, but yeah. No, I can see it. I think he does need some development. I think he's lacking development at this current point. So it would be nice to see a bit of Shido backstory, see why he's so horny, why he's
bro, so why is he so horny? Okay.
yeah, like why is he like that?
But the thing is, Sheeta doesn't care about tactics and all that. Season 2, episode 11, he's just gonna start dribbling out of nowhere. He doesn't care about that. Just scoring.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, if you
He
take
gives
him off
off
the
that
pitch, he
vibe.
can't stop. So he's going to be like, hold on, what are you doing, you absolute mug?
True, like he got washed like a whole 20 chapters when Kunigami started on him. So
Yeah. But you know the funny thing is, right? Don't you guys think that there's been a slight change in Shido's character in the NEL? Because when we first got introduced to Shido, he was the guy that just loves fighting, fights with the first person he sees, tried to kick Isagi in his first introduction. Um, and but ever since then, Shido's been kind of a nice guy. Like he's not,
Side Tendon.
yeah, like he's not a violent guy like that no more.
Side just Tendon.
Yeah, I guess so. But
Bro just said,
would,
yeah, bro, be a good boy and I'll give you passes.
would you call that? Would you call that? You know, character development, progression.
I call it domestication.
Yeah, man.
Very accurate way to put it.
Yeah, it actually is. It actually is. It's a weird one with Shido. I really hope. Ooh, nah, cause he's just tanned in it. I was thinking like maybe if we play like the what's the African team? Does Morocco just Morocco is Morocco the only African
I
team?
think so.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe if we play Morocco and maybe Cheetah has ties, but like he's just tanned in it. He's just a tan guy.
Well, he says it's all sun.
Yeah.
I don't know where in Japan you'd go to get a tan. So it could suggest that he like lives abroad. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
or
maybe
he
he
lives.
hold on. Ready? So Shido lived abroad in an area of stuff, and because of that grew up with basically like a permanent tan kind of thing, or like just a change in like it's just overall
Yeah.
skin tone. And it oh god, I don't know if I could say this without getting YouTube censored. His
Just say
his parents were activity inclined and didn't care much about raising a child, which means
oh
Shido grew up in an environment where activity was basically anything he kind of
normal.
knew about, and then got introduced into football and just like imprinted this previous like mentality onto football.
Mm.
And with his parents' ignorance, this means he kind of just bonded with football in general, and that's why it became like everything. And then he like with that lack of attachment to like any caregiver and the type of upbringing he got around, he looks like an absolute like deprived, like perverted psycho. Goes on an absolute like mad streak because of something, like maybe like bullying similar to Barcha because of trait of geniuses that not a lot of people tend to understand your perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
So Shido could have been like bullied in that. And then we get child like protection services involved because his parents are crap. And he gets like, and he gets like, and he gets taken away from his parents and, uh,
what
and,
what a life story, man.
and like gets like, I don't know, like deported to Japan where like there's other family member that he has there. And just taken away from that kind of lifestyle. And now we got like just a horny Shido who just enjoys playing football but is also just mentally insane because of a really harsh upbringing.
that is one backstory. No wonder we've not seen it yet.
I was just making it up as I go along.
Yeah, that is
I
wild.
have watched way too many like darker movies recently, I guess.
Yeah, that is one wild story. But yeah, I just
It,
I'd like to
yeah,
see.
because even if like you don't like your parents, with them being like kind of just like your parents, you still like imprint their behaviors onto your own like sense of self in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's go for a bit. Who are we talking about?
Shido.
Oh, Sheeta.
Yeah.
Why Shido
Yeah,
is such a
I
danger to
can tell.
society.
I can tell who's the freak in the family. Not Sheeta, but it's the mom and the dad's just a regular working businessman.
It's Karasi.
What?
He
Yeah.
is the true menace to society. He's gonna get all erotic around people's legs.
Oh, nah.
um, yeah, Ari got some chat here. It says, wait, Barrow also got locked down by pre-Wildcat Kunigami. It happens. That's true.
I mean, that was also a pre-evolved Barrow.
It wasn't even full locking down either. Like Kunigani said, he couldn't stop Barrow head on. He had to limit his path.
Yeah, stop him from getting to his range.
Yeah, that's why he always like pushed Barrow to the outside. It was a tactical maneuver to misdirect him rather than stop him head on.
Yeah. You remember when Bachira squared up to Shido uh, in season one finale? That was what was Bachira
Butcher,
thinking?
Butcher probably knows how to throw hands.
Yeah, I
He
reckon.
was fighting since he was a child. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon Bachira can throw
He's
hands.
got that experience on him.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd win against Shido, but I think he can throw hands.
I
Yeah,
say he gives Sheeta like a bloody nose and a
Shido's
black
got
eye.
that freaky African descent.
Yeah. Uh,
That's
but
just the head canon Shido backstory now.
but yeah, Shido stands no chance against Kunigami now. Kunigami's been boxing and that, like Taekwondo
He's
or
gonna
what.
douche him up.
Yeah, man.
Like
Shido.
he's gonna square up to Shido, and Shido's still gonna be. He's gonna be like, yeah, I still don't know who you were. Like, what if I just douche you in the face? Maybe that'll knock it back into you.
No, that. But the thing is, Ari, we're saying, yeah, Shido will probably win against Bachira, but Bachira will still like give him a fight. It's not like Bachira is not, he won't back down.
Yeah. I'd say Shido wins like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, Butcher's
Yeah,
tenacious,
yeah, but
and
I
he seems like
think
the
Bachira
type of
will keep
person that would
going.
like. He seems like the type of person that would like run at you, trying to go for a punch,
Mm-hmm.
and then just like kick you in the shins randomly,
Yeah.
just because,
Unpredictable.
yeah, your eyes would be up at his hand as he goes to swing you, and just when you're not looking, he just full on toe punch you in the shin, or just goes to your crotch, like, or both. He might just like fly at you with two legs.
Yeah, I listen. I think Bachira will scrap. Like he might not be the strongest, but he's ready to scrap.
Tenacious.
Yeah, for
He
sure,
got that dog in it,
for
or
sure.
the schizophrenic monster
Oh,
in it.
do you know one thing? I was reading the the Barcha versus Bastard match, right?
Mm.
This morning, and at the end of it, do you know when Yukimiya gets all aggy with Isagi in the changing room?
Yeah.
Isagi squares up to it, says you want to go. Like Isagi was ready to fight.
Well, I mean, people like think that Isagi is like weak, but you can see like in the hot tub scene before the game between his team and Shigure and Kunigami, like
Hmm.
Isagi is surprisingly stacked.
Oh yeah,
Like he
yeah.
is packing muscles.
But he's done that whilst being at Blue Lock though. That's like he's been training whilst being at
Yeah.
Blue Lock. But
Speaking of training,
I don't get how it can be called an average level athlete with a build like
this is Blue Lock we're talking about. Look at Kunigami. He's what 17 years old, and look at the size of him, bro.
that,
Japanese as well. Don't forget.
which are typically scrawny.
Yeah.
Like a Japanese person is kind of what you expect like Nico to be, just a team full of
Mhm.
Nikos.
Mhm.
But no, you've got players like Barrow, you've got like Ishido, Kunigami. Rayo is also really just balanced out in stuff.
Yeah, Rayo surprisingly he's
Like
fit.
he's just literally built different.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like you think you're coming up against a bunch of scrawny Japanese boys, and they're just not scrawny Japanese boys. And you're like, wait a minute.
I mean,
Like,
you said
Adam Blake wouldn't be getting his money that time.
Go on, Opie. What was you gonna say?
no, I was gonna say you said like going up against a team of 11 Nikos, but have you seen Nico recently? You know the training he's doing.
Nico's in the
Yeah,
gym now.
That boy is bulking up.
Watch Nico. Next time we see Nico, man, watch. The guy's gonna be jacked.
God.
and remember, he's only 15, so he's got a growth spurt to go, man. He wants some. If come uh Nico's all like barrel size, it wouldn't surprise me. Oh,
Crazy stuff.
Abby says Shido would mop him. Yeah. Like we're not saying he wouldn't, but
We're
we're
just
saying
saying Barcha isn't exactly gonna like
yeah, Barca
kilo
ain't
in the
gonna
first
roll
2
over.
seconds.
That's all we're saying. Barca ain't gonna roll over. He's gonna be up for it. Oh, Chad Allen says,
Chad.
I feel like we kind of all are just ready for the games to start. To be honest, I'm intrigued with the training stuff. But
I want to see the fruits of it.
yeah, but I would like to see it in practice.
Hmm.
But I think we won't get to actually see them apply it until the actual matches.
Yeah,
I think we'll get some flashback bits.
bro, you got fucking Corona racing against Dobermans.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, I do quite like the whole arc of things. I don't think we get to the matches just yet. I think we still gotta see what Isagi does, and then see what the collective does when they get back to the facilities. But they could easily time skip.
Like, hello could literally be like, hello and welcome to the U20 World Cup in Japan for all.
Nah. Oh, they could do it, and then like we see Isagi pop off, and then all of a sudden we get a flashback to what he really did during the 2 weeks. 2 weeks off.
Like he scores like a mega goal. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, Isagi, how the hell did you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see.
Yeah.
Bro, what's your whole Darman video, bro?
Like Isagi does a rin dribble like through the whole team, scores the goal, and then
Dribble.
and then Rin,
Homie's assignment was to just study game change moments.
and then
How
and then and then and then Rin's like, Isagi, what did you do to your body? That line
Perfect
from
player,
there, and
man.
that kills me every time, bro. That kills
So
me.
one thing I'm wondering is that every player is like getting all of their like aura stuff is already looking so insane,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still only at U20 level, which means what kind of like crazy evolution monster crap are we going to see by the time this series is done?
Yeah, and you
Like
got
we're going to see people like domain expanding or something.
for sure, for
I
sure.
mean, Ren almost had one.
Yeah, Rin's got a simple domain,
Domain expansion, brother issues. While you are in my domain, you now trick. While you are in my domain, we are all brothers. And because I have brother issues, my abilities against you now enhanced by 2 times because of my enhanced destroyer mode.
main expansions, but what?
Ari,
And these are just like domain expansion, just fucking puzzles. While you're in my domain, your brain stops working. Or whatever the hell. Until you solve this puzzle, you will be completely immobilized.
yeah, I mean, we have to get, like, if you think about it, don't you guys think that some of these blue lock players are kind of like broken in terms of how good they are?
Hmm.
If you think like they're not even at that level yet, like there's still levels above
Yeah,
them.
like
There's
you
the
still
new
got like
gen,
the average pros above them.
yeah,
Like you're just
new
still
gen,
professional player.
there's the new gen level, then there's the pro level, and then there's the world class level.
Yeah.
So like there's still levels above them,
Like
and
I think like the top blue lockers are starting to integrate into the pro level
yeah,
because that's kind of like what
the
Kaiser at
NEL,
the start of the NEL was supposed
yeah,
to be like the baseline. He's like transitioning,
yeah,
and we know Kaiser has evolved since then, so we've got better.
mhm,
And currently Isagi and Rin have been the two players to keep up with him. So I think maybe Kaiser, Isagi, and Rin are kind of like the lower bounds of what like they would be like players good enough to like start breaking into like and getting minutes in the starting 11. Like they
yeah,
wouldn't start, but be like, all right, you're gonna make your debut today.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Ari says, but Kunigami gave up being a striker to man like Shido. Don't you think that's a bit pathetic? You are a Noah copy in terms of physique, and you only amount to that. Well, yeah,
Well,
like Kunigami doesn't have the same mentality as Noah though, because Noah,
I don't think he's at the same physicality either.
well, they said
Like
he
I
was.
know,
That's the thing. They said
like
he
you
was.
can't get to Noah's physique that has been conditioned for probably decades at this point in
They,
such a short amount of time.
they probably pumped him with steroids because in the short amount of time that he was away, he blown up.
I think yeah, you would have learned. I think what the wild card was intense training, but based around the type of physique that Noah has and not the quality of it.
Mm,
Basically, what they did is that they got the players in there and worked them to death to a specific regiment, which is basically just like ego copy and pasting Noah's weekly workout, which he
yeah,
stole from his laptop or something.
yeah.
And he'd be like, okay, so Noah does 101 push-ups, 101 sit-ups, 101 squats, and an 11-kilometer run. You're gonna go do that now.
Bro, they not just said a whole bunch of.
Then you just he'll be stronger than One Punch Man at that point.
That's what I'm saying.
And basically, they are like worked, and they get like pushed out of the wild card when they physically break.
Mm,
Yeah, I don't know. If you're physically strong as Noah, no, I don't think being as a defender is bad because we've seen Noah play defense.
yeah,
Like, I don't think it's a problem to
but
be honest.
Noah did get bodied by Snuffy though. I can't lie, man.
You got Snuffy and Loki. I mean, sometimes.
Yeah, but Loki
Yeah.
didn't physically body him, but Snuffy did. Snuffy pushed him back.
Snuffy's got his jiu-jitsu, so he's really good
Yeah,
at exploiting like just weak spots in somebody's balance. Like you can be like big and buff and
Yeah,
whatever,
so
but
both
if
players
you're
have
off
to,
balance, you can't exert
yeah.
force
So both
as
players
good
have,
as you would do when you have a steady center of balance.
yeah, like both players are both trash. Like Noah got stuck by Snuffy, Kunigami got stuck by Ryu the whole Uber's game.
oh,
So
oh,
Yeah.
Kunigami was non-existent the whole Ubers game, bro.
yeah,
Fraud
My
watch.
Kunigami was bad in that game. He,
Fraud
he was
watch.
bad.
Yeah. I don't think Kunigami not being a striker is pathetic because his ego's being a hero.
Yeah,
However, he can be the hero is what matters to him.
yeah. I mean, that's a great point because the mentality difference in Kunigami and Noah is very stark. Noah
Yeah,
said that he'd rather score a hat trick and lose 4-3
then like win a game 2-1
yeah, then win
and
a
not be
game two
involved.
one and not score. Like there's a big difference in their mentality, and that mentality of Noah's is what's brought him to where he is. And without that, I don't think Kunigami can get there.
Yeah, like I put this in my Isagi versus Noah video, and I pretty much have each of their mentalities on par, and that's like obviously really high scaling because like your mentality factors in stuff like your adaptability, which Isagi is just monstrous in.
Yeah.
And we know Noah doesn't have the same level of adaptability as Isagi. So just his sheer other things like his perseverance, like his mental fortitude, his experience, it's stuff that's been forged over an entire career at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kunigami just doesn't have that exposure.
True.
And at the moment, I don't think he's ever going to get a mentality on that level because he is cooped up in BLUELOCK doing hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Like, they're going to make him the next Alex Pereira before he becomes the next Noah.
yeah. I mean, I don't even think you need like Noah's mentality to be the strongest. You just need a pure one. Whatever you believe in, just believe in it full-heartedly, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, but like in terms of being a striker, though, like Noah's mentality is perfect for being a striker.
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I mean, it's
Like-
kind of fucking dumb. I mean, it's not dumb, but it's like bro, you gonna do him like that? Like you've been holding on for like a whole lot. Just gonna throw him away? Okay, bro.
That's his mentality.
That's what he believes in. That's why
Homie
him and
is
Barr have the best
17, nigga. You are 31.
Anyways, Ari
Yeah.
says he thinks Kunigami is gonna score more than 3 goals.
Like
Over the
total
whole
or in a
tournament?
game? Yeah.
I think total. I don't think so.
Total.
No. I
I can
think
see
he
like
might get-
one.
Yeah,
See him like getting 1 or 2 maybe,
same.
but I can't see him being
I can
like
only
a
see
primary
game
goal
one.
scorer.
Yeah.
I can see like 4 assists.
Assist, really?
I don't think he'd be on the pitch enough to collect that. Like, I've got a document on it talking about my own like kind of BLUELOCK positions and tactics,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a 4-4-2 system, and Kunigami would be a backup for Karasu in an anchorman role, just shielding the defense, man marking,
For
just
me,
overall being a physical stonewall. So I can't really see Kunigami getting too far to get lots of assists either. But I could see him on like corners, hanging like on the edge of the box, getting a loose ball and just whacking it in with his power shots.
For me, I'm putting Kunigami as a target man. I'm gonna.
Same here. That's why I have him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but do you know what? One thing that I was thinking, we've yet to see a goal scored from a corner.
Like
Well,
any
other
game,
than
like
Bryn
professional,
scoring from the corner.
but
No,
professional.
but that's in a small-sided game. Like those remember those pitches are small.
I
I'm talking about in the 11-a-side match where corners really like they're really a facet of the game. We've not even with Sai, like Sai took a corner and no one scored it. We've yet to see someone score from a corner, like even like a header, like rise
Yeah,
up
that's
high.
the thing though. Like Sai was fixated on a fucking
well,
feminine,
corners are actually,
fixated on the demon, bro. So you gotta give him credit for that.
Yeah, but like I just want to see like
well, the thing is that
like I want to see Aiku score a header, bro. Like just like in a there's a corner,
we all want to see
I
Aiken score a header. Just get him a goal.
Yeah, every 2 day user about to shoot that man down. GG's. The body said
Just
some random character's chance to score a goal. Yeah, GG's.
just have like someone perched on the top of the stadium with a sniper.
Yeah, put Sendo there.
But yeah, I think the reason we haven't seen a goal from a corner yet is because they are extremely like inefficient ways of scoring. For example, I took a look at some probabilities about it from Opta Analyst, the site, and it's calculated that the probability of scoring a goal from a corner kick in football is generally low, ranging from 2.2% to 4.43%. with some studies even showing lower average rates of about 2.58%.
Yeah.
And in the Premier League season, this season,
Mhm.
only 2.8% of corners led to goals.
Mm.
So that's like an average of like a corner
Majority of
goal
that was
every
up as well. So
every 50 attempts.
Raito,
And we have not had 50 corners yet.
Raito, what's your like character? What's your own ideal for these new Gen 11s? Like, what do you think some of them their philosophies will be, or what
ooh,
they look like, or something?
ooh.
For me, I'm imagining a full on Christian man. Like, not say he's just
Yeah.
religious. He believes in God, and like he's
Just eager goo, but
God.
Christian.
Yeah, the Brazilian. That could be the
Everything
Brazilian,
he makes is just. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a sick concept. That could be the Brazilian, man. They're religious. Um, but yeah, no, that's actually quite
Well, let's have
good
it.
question. Philosophy of the players. Um, I would have, I would say the American would be never give up attitude.
It'd be like patriotism.
Yeah, yeah. We're the best,
Like,
Yeah,
God bless
We never,
America.
we
yeah,
never
they
give
about to start
up.
saying one
We
for all
never,
full
we
calling, bro.
never say die. Um,
Oh my God. It should be the American player should be the right winger that cuts inside all the time because they always have to head west to manifest their destiny.
Oh my god.
oh,
I don't
yeah,
know about I don't know about this Egypt player though. I don't know.
yeah. Egypt. That's a tough one still.
About to be fucking snake dancing to way to the goal.
Yo, mad. But I
I
did say in my predictions that the Egyptian is gonna be a good dribbler. I think
Hmm.
Yeah, not like that dude there right though. GG's.
no, I reckon the Egyptian's gonna be a good dribbler. Um,
Yeah, I think if the Spanish player isn't going to be a striker, I want it to be a centre mid and be like a true like tiki-taka player.
mm,
Just like has no real outstanding physical qualities, but you just can't get close to him because by the time you get there, he doesn't even have the ball anymore. He'll be like Kuroko from Kuroko no Basket, just that, but in blue.
hmm
I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like, hi, I have the ball. I tricked you. It's already gone. What?
I
It's
reckon
already by your goal.
there's gonna be a player that's super fixated on metavision and probabilities similar to Hiragi. I
Well,
reckon.
Hiragi wasn't really probabilities. It was more
Yeah,
so just
yeah.
like, I'm
Predictions.
going to flip a card and, random magic predict stuff. Somebody that works
No.
mostly with like probabilities and analytics like that would be IQ.
Yeah, so I
To be
reckon.
fair, to be
Yeah,
able to calculate probabilities like that in a football game where the actual speed would have been like only a couple seconds at most, IQ's brain has to be like incredibly fast to be able to calculate all of that.
and I reckon there's gonna be a guy like that.
With tarot cards.
No, not with tarot cards, just probably. Like, what's the probability of him going left this much? Goal.
I
Let's
could
go
just
ahead.
like wait to like see a dude that like does like probabilities like that, and he just whips out a tarot card mid game while a player's like running at him, and he's like, "Okay, whatever.
That'd be ridiculous,
I'm
man. Who
going
would
to
not
pull
get on
my
his feet?
card. I'm going to pull my card out of my pocket here,
There's no
and this
pocket.
tarot
We're
card
about to
predicts
say
that he will go left."
Yu-Gi-Oh! About to say Yu-Gi-Oh battle, bro.
There's no pockets, bro.
Just
Oh, mate.
just a Yu-Gi-Oh battle in the middle of Blue Lock.
I mean, we got it start getting written, so
So Ari says no team scares me apart from France. To be honest, I think we have enough good players to the point that we can win every single game.
yeah,
I
lucky.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
don't
want to
either.
see Blue Lock get absolutely humiliated in a
Same,
group stage match
same.
as like a check, like a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like if you compare like pre-awakened Kaiser to the top 5 of Blue Lock, he no diff Shido, he no diffed Bachira. Like like even pre-awakened Kaiser is dominating a lot of the top five of Blue Lock. So
Yeah.
Hmm. Like what I think is that in the group stage, it's gonna be Japan, a like another like high tier nation. I want it to be like the Netherlands, like a
I
very
mean, do they have to be
tactical,
do they have to be humbled? I mean, they've lost every World Cup up until now. I don't think they need to be
Yeah, but
humbled.
these
humble,
players haven't.
humiliate them.
These players haven't. They need to be humbled.
yeah, I think like
Yeah, like
reality checked. Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah,
And then there's gonna be like a mid-level team, just kind of just a
I'm
team,
just
and then
imagining.
like just a really crap cannon fodder team. Blue Lock goes into the tournament, plays the cannon fodder team first, absolutely thrashes them, think they're on top of the world. Their egos get out of hand,
No, I think
and
no,
they face.
I think ego would just tell them to don't make like wouldn't get to their heads.
Yeah, but
no,
also
but
sometimes,
I think he let
sometimes
them
when
take
you,
that lesson though.
yeah, but also
no,
sometimes when you tell somebody that, they
Hmm.
just don't listen
Yeah,
anyway.
and
You have to,
yeah,
ego's more of a show and then tell. Any.
yeah,
exactly
and
like
then
the
what
World
they do is
Five.
they
Mm-hmm.
and then they come up against a really like tactically centered team like the Netherlands,
Mm.
and they get like absolutely humiliated. Like they think, oh my god, like we're like I think they get like the biggest scoreline victory out of the first game week out of any team. Like Japan versus this fodder nation was the most one-sided victory seen in this tournament by a mile.
Mm.
And then they think, yeah, we're amazing.
I'm
Like
thinking of this.
our egos are unmatchable, and then their egos get out of hand. Play against a more tactically based team without like much ego,
Mm-hmm.
and they get absolutely just like hammered. Learn that literally ego isn't everything. Get an absolute belting from Jim Patchy ego, and be like, "Are you stupid?
I'm
Why
thinking
Like
of
like
I
that?
know I told you like you need ego, but like I told you need ego, not delusions."
no,
Exactly.
yeah, she know
And
how to
then they get like that slap to reality, and now they're in a position where if they lose this next game, they would like get knocked out of their group
Mm.
because they won one, they lost one.
Yeah.
If they lose it, they'd only have 3 points. They
Yes.
would come like third.
Yes.
And when it all comes down to it, they actually managed to have that one
yeah,
times
reset.
23 chemical reaction, and
Mm.
And it's like
they finally like fulfill the aims of egos training and learn to kind of have their individual egos, but also like know when to harmonize it, mature decision making, and not being like, because there is a difference between like having an ego and being a narcissist.
Wait,
Like
right?
I
Can you
say,
repeat that question again?
Yeah.
pardon?
Yeah, what Reese said. You are acting like Ren and Isagi aren't there. They are in the Japan squad. If Kaiser is deemed the best new gen and Isagi clowned him, I'm not scared of them. I don't think.
Hmm.
I mean, Isagi clowned him because of a nest. Isagi, uh, Isagi did something that Kaiser couldn't do in a moment.
So
Yeah, and Kaiser was never said to be the best new gen.
yeah, I don't
He's
know.
just a new gen.
It's just a new gen.
Yeah.
So Kaiser
So
does evolve later on because Ness talking about he becoming a human and some shit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like he
like
wasn't a human already.
you
Like
straight
he's
up
an
like
alien.
the Kaiser that we saw wasn't even Kaiser playing at his best. Like the minute he teamed up with Isagi, he got worse. So he
mm,
started enjoying football instead of using his malice.
yeah.
So we've
I
never
bet
seen
it was all
actually
Isagi's plan.
probably.
But
Like he knew this would
the
happen.
thing
He
is, right?
knew.
What we've got to realize, right? This is the U20 World Cup, right? 11 of the best young countrymen are all coming together on the opposition. So it's not a case of Blue Lock. Just it's just all attackers. They're all strikers as well, quote unquote strikers, but they're all attackers, right? They're not even. So it's not like you've got the best young goalkeeper at Blue Lock. It's not like you got the best young defenders at Blue Lock. Well, you do with IQ, but it's not like you got the best young midfielders. You've only got attackers in Blue Lock. Whereas these other teams will have more balanced teams, better
Yeah,
tactics. They would have played
that's what I'm
together.
thinking.
All those factors will make those teams just as comparable as the Rin and Isagi you're talking about. Because Rin and Isagi might be good strikers, but they're not the best midfielders. They're not the best defenders. They're not
I
the
don't know.
best
They
goal.
look like the best defenders based on their feats.
but 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 you get me. Like yes, the Rin and Isagi are really good, but they're really good strikers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they're
Yeah.
attackers first and foremost.
Yeah,
Also, Noah never said Kaiser's the best. He just said after he settled things with Loki, Kaiser comes to pass him. That's all he said.
yeah,
He just called him. He just said, I think it was in the FC Barcha match. He said Kaiser just surpassed him in kicking speed, and that's it.
Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
yeah. Kaiser just it's just the swing speed.
So Kaiser has
Even
everything that's over both Rain and Isagi.
Hmm.
yep.
We're
And
talking mentality wise,
and
yeah. I guess you
and
can see
and,
something
and
like this.
I actually reckon the Brazilian New Gen 11 is gonna be the best player.
I
It'd be
agree with
like a
that. Yeah.
Neymar player.
I'm about to start listening to Brazilian funk and start dribbling like he made, man.
Dude, the edits are gonna go insane.
For real.
It's gonna be sick. But
Or maybe it
yeah,
could
so
be.
I think yeah, go on.
Uh, I was gonna say maybe it could also be a Brazilian that
Yeah.
isn't like a
Now we know.
mega flashy dribbler,
Now we
like my PFP, aka the best player in the world right now, Rafinha.
Rapinho.
really. No one
I
scares me. No new Gen 11 player scares me when we have players like the top five. What? Top five? Like,
No, I mean
define top
the
five. What do you
top
mean?
five in Blue Lock. He means so like the Rin, Isagi's, Bachuras.
Shido, Chiguri, and Barcha. He
Yeah,
basically says, "Why should we be scared of the new Gen 11s if we have those players?"
Okay, you talking
Which
about
I
Shido. Okay, Shido. We gonna cut out of that Shido. We talking about the dude that got shut off for 20 chapters. The dude
by Kunagami,
that
who
went
was
back.
literally having
Ami,
this,
who's another striker, by the way.
Yeah, the dude
and
that
not
went on a passing train for about the whole end of the game. The dude who literally,
The guy
yeah,
who had to start
like,
passing
like,
to
bruh,
Rin just to have any relevance in the match.
the dude who got stopped by Igor Glory.
it
Yeah. Like, isn't it fair to say that like world level is different from club level? Isn't
is,
that like a real thing?
yes. So in the world level, right? You you can sometimes you can accumulate a team that's better than a national team, right? But when you're a big nation and you have so many a plethora of great players to pick from, and then you've got to think it's in every position you're gonna pick the best players in every position. So in a club, you might not have the best players in every position.
Remember, there is one new gen per
Whereas
team. And it's their own club.
in a big nation, you have the best players in every position. So it's a big difference.
Okay, really, like you're saying that, but imagine this now. You got Snuffy by himself going against Isagi and Kaiser. Him alone was dominating it. Like
Alone was enough. Snuffy didn't
Snuffy,
Yep.
even try.
Snuffy alone by himself was getting three man by Noah, Kaiser, and Isagi, and was still putting up numbers.
Snuffy didn't even try, bro. Like let's
Like,
be
Yeah,
honest.
bro,
he was not putting in effort.
He didn't even
you're
try.
saying Kaiser doesn't adapt and like find ways to defeat them somehow.
Exactly.
You
Like
just
Blue
say, oh,
Lock.
just stay stagnant. He doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just got to remember this is national teams we're talking about. They're not.
Exactly.
It's not like just some random people. This is the best in every position. It's not like they're playing against Bastard Munchen again, where you have Birkenstock and Mensa who are trash.
I mean, can we call them trash? But I mean, they were the only two non-blue lockers keeping their positions
Yeah,
on the
but
team.
I don't know why though. I don't know why.
I mean, I love them. I don't hate
Yeah.
them. I see them.
I
I actually
did
love them. I
not
don't hate
see one. I did not see any of them do any defensive contribution whatsoever.
And I mean, they got bids
That's
to
what I
keep
want to
them.
see
If they
change.
were in the top 23, they had bids to keep them in there. Like Mensa got a 30 million bid.
Yeah,
Barcha got like a 29 million bid.
Oh
So
my,
yeah,
it isn't bad. They were just doing
they
things
were
logically.
selling.
bro! They did not do anything in any game they played.
Hey,
Not
bro, I gotta support my boys, bro. If you down bad, bro, it's
Glasner did more than. Nah, man, those
Yeah.
guys were trash. Complete trash.
Also, it's the U20 World Cup. What do you mean it's not World Cup difficulty? World Cup is in the
No, he
name.
said this is U20. Basically, what he means by World Cup is just like the World Cup. He's saying that this is the U20 difficulty.
Yeah,
Therefore, like the comparison to Snuffy soloing them isn't valid because Snuffy isn't going to be at the U20 level. Therefore, that lowers the overall quality and would make like the
but we
Blue
also
Lock
have to take into account that
individually stand out
there's
more.
there's only three players in Blue Lock currently that even have experience in the national level, right? And that is Sendo, IQ, and what's the goalkeeper?
Fukaku.
Fukaku.
Um,
who are all dog water, but yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that Sai even said that the U20 Japan level, in respect to the rest of the world, the U20 Japan team before it got taken over by Blue Lock was literally a mediocre nation.
That
Yeah,
boy Sendo missed one goal opportunity. That man, Sai start calling him the monkey. Jesus.
yeah.
As he deserved.
Like
So Sendo can now just whip out the sniper and counter attack.
mm,
Yeah. I should
Sendo,
shoot the ball, not the
say
player.
something now, Si. I dare you. Come name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a man running in red. Smoke him.
And Sai would just be like, you need the power of a sniper to even have the balls to stand up to me. How lukewarm.
Oh. Yeah, but I think let's not underestimate the rest of the teams in this World Cup. They're
Yeah,
good.
like they're
It's,
gonna have
Yeah.
their own
these
players
games
that
are
are
gonna
like
be difficult.
much more jiggery barrow level.
There's gonna
Nah,
be
bro.
matches where Blue Lock only win like nil, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's like you about to put a gun to Kaiser's head and say, bro, gun to your head, name a fucking ring verse.
Oh man. Yeah, I think we just gotta put some respect on the U20 teams and the new gen themselves as well.
Yeah,
Exactly.
put
Just
some respect on their names.
we don't know what skill sets these guys gonna have because we have a defender like Don Lorenzo who is a master dribbler, bro. Like
I
Like,
mean,
why is your centre back dribbling?
Yeah. I
yeah,
want
just be
the
what's those fucking things that are at a car dealership? Just
what?
empty body and shit. Like that's what fucking Lorenzo is.
So I was just sorry after I was just imagining there being a U20 player just
Oh
coming up
my
behind somebody,
ass
just coming
nigga.
up behind somebody and being like, "I hit him for my extended car,"
what?
and
Oh
just steals
no.
the ball. Just like a U20 player that's just an absolute meme lord.
Bro,
Mm.
bro, you gotta have Looney Tunes power.
Literally.
Nah,
You gotta
yeah.
be like,
Like, just imagine that. A U20 player rocking up with Looney Tunes powers.
That's crazy.
That should be the Brazilian.
Imagine.
but that's the thing. We
His
don't know
name
what
should be Luninho.
we don't know what skill set these guys gonna have. Like some of these guys gonna have some broken powers. We thought we thought Kaiser Impact was broken. We don't know what some
Else was out there.
other guys will have in
Fog
their
of War.
okay, bro. I got my top 11. Okay, one of them is Sun Jingwoo.
Nah, we're not winning.
Was this going to be like Sung Jin Woo if he like migrated to China and got
Homie,
citizenship?
homie about to say, bro, where's the other 10 of them? Bro, about to say, arise.
Ari says, I don't. They're gonna be scary for a bit, but once they have to go against Destroyer Rin and Slur Sagi, they're getting cooked. One new gen can't stop both Isagi and Rin. It's not possible.
Wait until it's possible.
I think it is possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I think just if Japan can produce an Isagi and a Rin, just imagine what Brazil can produce. Just imagine
Exactly.
And
Spain can.
Isagi and Rin were produced literally in a like conditioned conditioned factory to produce players. Like
But
they needed that kind of stuff just to get to this
just
level.
to get to this level, and then they're gonna play against other players that who are probably been in youth setups from the day they was born and been playing international football from the ripe old age of I don't even know 10 years old or something. So we just can't be underestimating.
Players that are gonna have far more experience.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure just the most like higher experience that a Blue Locker has gotten was probably Rin. Like he played against
Wait,
Kira.
this man said one new gen can't beat Rin and Isagi. That didn't Charles just fuck around with Rin and just completely can't make Isagi read him or Hiyori?
Even like
He
like
did do that. Yeah.
He
like
literally messed around with Rin and like, bro, I don't care about you. Get out. Messing with Rin every time. He
and
was playing around with them.
Stinky Raven is right. He says new gens play exclusively. Sorry, new gens exclusively play. So
Oh yeah, true.
no. So what
We
he's
could
saying
have
is
Team
they're
Rocket
gonna
one.
have teammates. It's not just gonna be new gen one new gen 11 versus
1v11.
Blue Lock. It's gonna be a new gen 11 and 10 other players versus Blue Lock.
Yeah. Yo, you know what I need? I need like Ubers as a like the idea, but as a new gen. I need like a midfielder new gen that the whole
Go
team
to
is just his
bed.
ideas, his arms, his legs, his
Mm.
everything.
Mm.
You're saying he has the whole tactics of Ubers in his brain.
Exactly. No, like yeah, like the whole team is basically his mech. He controls literally everything they do. That's what I need.
Everything.
Everything.
I'm about to say, bro, take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back.
Yo.
Oh, that's jokes. No, so basically like a Kaiser system on steroids.
Basically, yeah. But
Yeah.
from the midfield position, like what Snuffy was doing, like when he was on the
Mm,
pitch.
mm.
Dictating the tempo.
But
Exactly.
for sure, I think we can't maybe we can't imagine it now, but there's definitely gonna be players that have some ridiculous abilities that even we're gonna be like, raw. Maybe this guy's even better than Sai. Maybe this guy's even better than Kaiser. Maybe this guy's a better defender than
They're
Lorenzo.
gonna have to raise the stakes. If everybody is going to be an NEL Kaiser victim, there's going to be no step up in quality.
Mm.
Exactly.
Like this is the U20 World Cup, probably the second biggest arc that this series is going to have behind the actual World Cup. They are going to step up the quality.
Yeah,
Charles stopped Isagi win,
yeah.
bro.
Charles did stop Isagi.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, like
He
from
stopped his
scoring a
goal.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stopped him scoring. Isagi was about to shoot, and Charles took it off him.
Yeah.
Yoink.
Intercepted.
Not even the fact, like he stopped other players from helping Isagi. Like when Raito got the ball, he instantly
Yeah,
stole it.
Yeah.
stole the
And he stopped Kaiser Impact.
ball as well. Stole the ball from Hiyori.
Probably got a concussion.
Only took like a
He
200
took
miles per hour shot to the head, and like, yeah, I'm
he
still
took
smiling.
Kaiser
He
Impact.
wasn't seen for like the next chapter, but he did stop it.
Yeah, but he took a
Ooh,
Kaiser Impact to the head, bro. Wow. But yeah,
crownless
Charles stopped
kings. That
Isagi. He directly
Oh.
stopped Isagi from a shot he had.
I
damn.
was playing that.
The
Just a
Kaiser
chill guy.
Impact was like,
He was seeing stars. he said he saw the stars like, Loki, is that you? What are you doing on the pitch?
Ooh, ooh. See, this is a good question from Stinky Raven. He said are there gonna be some crownless kings like in Kuroko Basket?
I
Basically,
want to see that.
new Gen 11 players, level players, but without the title.
Ooh.
Yeah, like the new
Yeah,
gen 12 to 22 kind
What?
of thing.
Yeah, or like former new gens. I would like to see that.
yeah, that would be sick.
Bro, imagine a Kuroko like passer, like someone who just passes and just instantly vanishes.
Just got
Ooh,
hacks for days.
that's a good idea of a player that has no presence,
Yeah, like bro, where the fuck is the ball going? Hello?
but the basically,
Who plays like really like powerful low driven passes, so they just like disappear from sight,
but
and
like
he just does it first time. Just
get this.
ping.
Basically, a player like Nico was. Do you know Nico in the first match against
Oh
Team Z?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
hiding his
that.
presence
But
behind Okao.
yeah, exactly. But
But
on
the difference
the
is like Isagi can't
dictating
analyze
everything
when you
from the
see him or
shadow.
anything. No, I
Yeah,
would put it in a way like Isagi doesn't know how to stop him because his presence is so weak. Isagi doesn't notice him while he's scanning the field.
Yeah, or like if Sagi needs to notice him, he needs to hyper fixate on him. But because of that, other passes gets around him because he's
Mm,
not using metavision if he's focusing only on him.
yeah, yeah.
mm.
I'll read. There's also a moment where I think it's Kurona passes the ball to Isagi. Isagi's
Yep.
edge of the box. He's about to shoot, and Charles comes in and intercepts the ball.
Yeah, it was a link up play from Hiyori to Corona to
Yeah,
Sagi. Then
Yeah,
Charles
the
shot.
yeah. So Charles
yeah
did
the
stop Isagi.
yeah the Galaxy Hotline, as
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like non-canonically named.
yeah.
If only they did the whole title and said Galaxy Hot, I was like, oh shit, that'd been something. But yeah, Corona just went off rip.
hmm Yeah,
Whole big
I,
race
I think
against
Ari, maybe you don't remember it, but if you read it back, you'll see it. You'll see it.
now Ari is that one hard headed dude that doesn't want to get it, bro.
Ari needs to reread. That's what he needs to
Ari's
do.
going. He says, anyway, see you guys later. By the way, I have to ask, do you think Japan is winning? If not, do you think who do you think eliminates them?
Yeah.
Um,
Some niggas about to
personally,
start selling their soul for this manga. GG's.
so personally, at the beginning, I didn't think Japan was gonna win, but my mind's been changed. To be fair, I do think
I,
Nah,
I
bro.
think it'll be like a quasi win, so
Bro,
just like a
I
fake
think
win.
they do win.
Ego after Japan loses.
I I
He
I,
might look at all of them and be like,
I,
"You
I do think they do win.
42 pieces of shit."
No, that sounds like music that would play when you're like starting, like at the start of like a date scene.
A fantasy
Like when the guy like walks through the doors and they see like their date in like a beautiful like red dress and that piano music just starts playing.
You hear this?
Oh my! Sendo when he moves to America, find his Hollywood superstar.
Yeah,
Oh no, like they're
yeah.
playing against Japan are playing against the USA and loads of rich American models to shop, and that's like the game where Sendo absolutely like sniper cooks.
Yeah.
Like he snipes their hearts. That's what he's gonna be like.
After he scores, he turns to them in the crowds, points to them.
He's gonna use his DM driver.
Bro, about to do that whole musical sing off and start getting her number.
I can't
Oh my
lie.
god, yeah, literally the DM driver, literally a low driven shot into the bottom corner, and what he does after when he scores the DM driver, he
Yeah.
runs up to the crowd and just shouts like, "If any girls want my DMs, I'm at Shuto Sendo. Come
Nah,
message me."
he about to start singing. Hold
Yeah,
up.
it's actually
Yeah.
something he would do. That
Literally,
first Sendo goal is gonna hit like crack though. I'm gonna be hyped when Sendo scores.
He
Uh,
needs to.
literally, yeah.
I've got a spot for that guy. He's so ass.
It's
uh,
for real sendo, bro.
But just imagine that, just shouting into the crowd your DMs,
He about to do this.
just hoping some hot American chick gets it.
he literally
Yeah.
he literally did that when they did the bus parade. He was shouting
Yeah,
his
Oh
he
yeah.
literally, here's my Instagram.
his Instagram. Yeah, that's it.
I
What?
could imagine it being like before the game starts, and like all the players like walking out onto the pitch. There's like because around the stadium near the tunnel, there's usually like VIP seats of people that want to sit like really close.
Mm.
And it could be like some really just like hot American actress or something. And Sendo like looks about, just taking in the atmosphere, and then his eyes just like lock. You hear the piano music, and he just locks in, blasts the DM driver into the
Sniper
bottom
tempo
corner,
comes. He
sprints all the way across the pitch,
he uses his
runs.
he uses his predator eye in that moment. He activates predator eye
He gets a
fully
predator
focused.
eye, but uses it to spot the most attractive woman in the steps.
Yep. What a great use of it.
Literally. But oh yeah, walks out the tunnel, locks eyes with some hot American actress, locks in, use the DM driver to blast the ball into the bottom corner to score the winner, runs all the way back to where that actress was to see like her there, calls out his DM, and is like, DM me, and then he sees that she's there. She's just not there anymore.
Yeah, man.
Just imagine he just scores the winner and just gets absolute heartbreak.
Nah, bro. Fucking every time he gets hurt, but he about to start sending snipers for them.
I can't wait for Shido to score, honestly.
Shit about to be like, yo, Rin, come here.
Do you know what I can't wait for? Shido calling every single other striker from every other team his rival.
Oh, GG.
He's,
I don't
You're
know.
my rival, and you're my rival, and
he,
you're my rival.
he literally seems to think that every other striker from any other team is his rival.
In fact, I can impregnate goals better than you. Who is the best goal impregnator among us? Only one way to find out.
By the way, Karasu did say Shido's overall play is second rate, but his body is built to score goals. I guess he's
Meant
meant
to be
to
a
be
bum when he isn't scoring. Still
when
my goat
he is
though.
scoring, and still a goat though. F bomb barrel. Oh, so a barrel fan. No, but
Well, he
Shido.
says JK, but how is Barrow a king when he can't beat Isagi or Rin or even Shido in the rankings? Well,
I mean,
first of all, Rin is just an absolutely different breed. Like
Barrow's done dirty in the
you
ranking.
can be really good, but just somebody else is better. Isagi is the main character, so that's just a given. And Shido got a higher salary based on what Aero suspects is because of how important Shido is to the team, because of how he managed to awaken Charles.
Which I don't fully
Therefore,
buy either. I don't fully buy that because
well, do you have a better answer as to
I
why?
mean, Rin's the one that awakened Charles. My thing for that is that they lost Rin, so they
No, I think Shido gave a glimpse of what Charles can actually do if he
that,
does.
that doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
because Charles played like just a random pass. It was just like,
Yeah, that doesn't
you
matter.
all of your
Charles did
movements
the
suck.
time pass.
I'm just gonna pass it over there because I can. Then
Yeah,
Shido's just over there, and he's like, "Oh my god, I have found my pervert best friend."
I
yeah.
mean, isn't it weird that he just say, "Oh, it's like Ren send him a pass," he automatically awakens. Is like, "Oh shit, he's dueling at me. I should do something." Like,
No, but even Loki said that Rin was the reason Charles awakened. But I reckon the reason why Shido got such a high offer was just because Rin they got outbid for Rin, and
I
so
mean,
they had to go for the second best. I just think they went
I
for the
mean,
best.
as the biggest money making club in BLUELOCK or IRL,
Hmm.
they should have at least
Hmm.
have a bit more money to like give the
Yeah, I mean you'd
right.
think so, but
Yeah.
when it comes to Madrid, hey.
I mean, maybe they saw Rin's performance and he was like crashing out against people, so maybe they.
Maybe they just thought since it was Madrid that bid for him, and they know that size already at Madrid. Maybe they thought that Rin would just prefer Madrid.
Yeah, I don't think that man about to fit in. Fucking Moon about to start boxing with him.
It's like,
Yeah. You think you run this shit, bro? Yeah, nigga, I run this
or
shit. What
maybe,
You
maybe,
know, till
maybe.
this day, I still don't get what Rin's problem is. Just because your brother doesn't want to be the best striker in the world no more, like why do you have to crash out over that?
I mean, guess he. I
Bro,
mean, he.
because he cares.
He
Because
cares
this is
about what?
anime.
Being the second best striker in the world. Like that's
Yeah.
literally Rin's motivation. He wants to be the second best striker in the world after Sai.
Yeah, like literally talking about killing people. Okay, bro. Yeah,
Because
Referee, are you hearing this?
no, it's
He's killing people. He's slopping his tongue about. Like,
talking
book
about
him or
mid game.
something. Indecent exposure.
You're talking about mid game. Yeah, forget about soccer. Let's kill each other.
Ref, the game is over. He still got his predator activated.
Like, I'm waiting for, like, I've been waiting for just a meme where it's like, like just an edit that shows, like, a picture of Sendo and it says, how Sendo wants to catch bodies, referring to how he wants to get with an actress. And then it just changes to Rin and how Rin wants to catch bodies. He's just out here for the kill.
People. Like if football is a battlefield aside.
Yeah, homie went out his way
Yeah,
and said, "Oh shit, Isagi's here. Let me just clash into him real quick."
In
I
Fucking
it.
gotta.
Marco
just
Snuffy,
I gotta prove I'm physically dominant.
The little fight.
Pick him up by his shirt as well.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
Rin is
watch as my dominant self lifts you up like a little, like,
poppy.
insignificant little worm while I blast the ball into the top bins. And then the true embodiment of it takes a guy to be best girl, Yo
right?
Hiyori
We're not going to
intercepts
talk
it,
about. We're not going to talk about his English
drops
dub.
a slur on him.
We're not even talking about the English dub version of him. Shido came in talking about, bro, greeting him as well. We're talking about, bro, is your hero okay? I don't do small talk. Like, bro, what?
In it. Oh,
Well, at least he's not threatening to kill people.
remember when everyone just decided to pile on Shido and say you're annoying, bro? Like
Yeah, they jumped Shido. What did he do?
like Rin, Isagi, Kaiser, all of them said to Shido, "You're annoying, man."
Homie just scored one goal. Like, yeah, bro, you're definitely a pest.
Yeah. Oh
To be
shit.
honest, they probably saw the way he was acting with Charles.
Yeah, there was no need for that though. I
And
felt
they're just like, wait a minute, Charles is a minor. What are you doing, Shido?
I know what you are.
Get your head out the pants. His parents won't allow it. He still goes to school.
Nah, bro, Kaiser's in the back. Like, I don't know what the fuck
He
going
still
on.
needs to get his GCSEs.
No, Kaiser in the background. Like, bro, I don't know what the fuck going on, but I'm just gonna diss him.
Oh my god! Just imagine just Charles's parents just watching because they're like, "Oh my god, our boy's on TV. We have to like watch," and they just see the way that just like what they see is like at the start
Nah, bro.
they see because we know that people could hear what they're saying, which
Mhm.
means if like Charles's parents like hearing him and Cheeto talk about how they're the biggest perverts in the world. That means the world basically heard them shouting this.
Oh my days, that's so true.
And then after that, they see him like destroy a ring, just like slopping his tongue about at him.
Nah, that's
Like without context, that is some freaky crap.
And then his nose
just
starts
imagine
bleeding after
watching
he
that.
scores.
Like,
yeah.
imagine this. Like, you're watching the game and homie stop mid play. Like, bro, what are you looking at? He sees a Fanta, but everyone else is like, what is he doing standing? The ball is still in the air. Isagi comes and swipe it out. I'm like, what the fuck are you clashing with him? Like, these games.
But literally, just imagine being Charles's parents and just seeing how Shido acts around him and what
Mm.
I would be questioning, like their like safety and security. It's like, wait a minute, is this place properly regulated? What is this guy doing?
What is this like? What's going on here? Is this?
And you want to know the worst of it all? Like, Shido had a boner.
I
I am not lying. I'm lying. These are the look. at the chapter, you can literally see it.
God,
No way.
no way, because
Homie
I
grew
wouldn't
up.
notice that if it was true.
Homie grew a bone after scoring one goal.
Ari says, I know Shiro's gonna get nutmeg chipped
Nutmeg
and
chipped over.
even
Even
locked,
locked.
but I know my heart and my soul. I know in my heart and soul, he's gonna be one of the players who goes against the new gen go. Yeah, I mean, I can see that though. I can see that.
Bro, he's just about to jump on the goalkeeper and said, "Yeah, bro, I did that shit."
Yeah, no, I can. To be fair, I can see that. I can see that.
Poor keeper, he's going to be asking why his back is getting wet. Oh my days. Like, Shido better hope they're wearing the white kit for that game.
Oh, do you guys reckon we get new Blue Lock Japan kits?
Huh?
Please, yes.
I hope so.
I
I
need new
hope it
merch.
looks good.
Yeah, I hope so. Some new
Yeah, I don't think fucking Nico about to fit in his jersey, bro. Nico about to be too rough.
Nico about to be swole, bro.
They're going to have to get his stuff in the kid size.
I'm about to be XSL, bro.
The biggest 15-year-old in the world.
This man, shit about to have whiplash, bro. Look at him jumping out of plane, bro. Really?
Yeah, for sure. I reckon we kits,
This
man.
man, this man's wrist shoulder about to have a dent.
Yeah, that reminds me. Like, what do you think Ren is actually training for? Because it says like his ego is not only destruction. Like,
Mm,
what's the other part of it?
You about to learn Sage
I
mode.
think it's kind of like trying to balance it out. Because obviously at the moment, his destroy mode is very self-destructive. Like, he
mm,
ruins his own plays, he ruins his team's plays. It's kind of like you gamble at the moment whether you're going to get like a game winner or a game loser out of him.
yeah,
So I
So
think what this is that he's trying to like just balance out Rin's ego
hmm
and just make it less self-destructive. Like, it's not
yeah,
pure destruction. You don't need to destroy absolutely everything.
I don't
Just
think it's balanced, bro. That homie was about to fight an old man, bro.
it's also to do with how he has multiple auras. He's got the water, he's got the puppet hands, and now he's got the
Monster.
destroy mode.
yeah
He's just bipolar in a
You know he
nutshell.
gets a tail. He has a tail in that aura.
ah
Huh?
Yeah,
What?
in a panel, Rin has a tail, like a full-on
Wait, what?
tail.
Watch after, watch
I
after.
need to see this.
I'm gonna grab it. It's when he's like doing his destroyer thing after we see the giant monster
Can I
explode
share my
itself.
screen? Hold up. Whoa, I can share my screen.
Furry Rin? Question mark.
Straight up, he grows a tail. Let me see if I can
God.
find it.
I'm gonna share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah. One
let me
second.
watch after
Let
it. It is. Can y'all see it?
I've got it here.
Yeah, I see now.
Hmm.
Let me see this.
What chapter was it?
I'm trying to find out right now. It's after he like discovers his real ego,
Is real ego?
like the after he has the flashback.
Wait, you're talking about the game was at 2-1?
Yeah, before he scores.
Oh, like when he
Uh,
first.
I searched up on Google Rin with a tail, and I got running with a tail can refer to a few different things. I'm not asking
Oh,
about that. A tail walker in a race, a person running away in a figurative sense, or a literal tail being used in a game like chasing tigers' tail.
okay,
What the hell?
way.
okay.
I think it was chapter 268.
Now it's
Just
asking, can I run with
yeah.
a tailbone in? I'm actually curious, can you run with a tailbone injury?
Let me see this because I distinctly remember the tail.
I mean, I'm on it
Of
right now. I
course you
found
do.
chapter 268. Yeah, I'm on it right now. I don't know if I can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
All right, let me see. Damn. Boom, gosh. I don't see the screen, bro. I don't see the tail. I mean, see it here. It's right here, right?
No. It's in like a. Hold on. Let me try to find it.
They say the game was at 1, right? It was
Yeah,
in Barcha's.
game's at 2-1. It's
Yeah,
it's come on.
Be mangling.
yeah. At this point, this man runs summoning in demons, bro.
Yeah. Hold on.
Arise, as homie. Arise.
Oh, where is it?
I like how color that actually is. If it's green, it's nasty. Mm.
Oh, there we go. It's 275.
275.
Right before he crashes into Isagi.
Better to
Yeah.
get furry
Full,
red.
yep, full on tail.
Oh damn.
Keep going.
Keep
There we go.
going.
That's the panel. Scroll down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Beautiful. That's
It
nasty.
more so just looks like stuff's just like leaking out of his body.
I know, but the position is very and how it curves, I'm pretty sure
It
that's a
curves
tail.
down, doesn't it? Like curves from.
And the monster had a tail, so
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
integration, isn't it? Full
He
integration.
is the
Fusion.
monster.
Yeah, homie about to start saying woof woof. Okay.
Fusion.
there's two
He is
wolves
going to
inside of
be the dog that Nana say is for him.
There's fusion in it.
Fusion.
Wait, I stopped sharing screen. Okay, yeah.
I didn't think when I woke up today I would have seen furry Ren. Quite the
Uh,
experience.
anyways, I think we. How long we been going for?
About
3
3.5
Ooh,
hours.
3 hours and
3 and
21 minutes.
oh my days.
Hey,
Since
Yeah,
when?
about 3.5 hours.
that's a good stream.
Wow. Yeah, I think we wrap it up here.
Yeah,
It was
wait,
really
hold
good.
up. Right, we're streaming Monday because episode Nagi drops in next week Monday.
I can't do Mondays, unfortunately.
Oh, Tuesdays then.
Yeah, it'll have to be Tuesday again. I can't do Mondays, unfortunately. But yeah,
Imagine having
next
work.
Tuesday for sure, for sure. And then if see you later, Ari, and
Yeah, thanks
good
for
to
staying.
see you, man.
You are the most controversial. You know what? Never mind.
Conservation.
Appreciate you being here.
Good speaking to you,
Never
man.
mind. Never mind.
Great
In
question.
this
Well,
chat.
but
Literally
yeah,
carried the chat for
definitely
about half an hour. Okay,
next
maybe a bit
Tuesday.
more than that. What? Wait,
Next
hold on.
Tuesday,
Oh,
then we'll have at least the latest chapter and
Right.
the episode Nagi as well to talk about.
Everyone exit the locker room. Y'all are so sweaty right now. Take your boots off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopping in the shower.
hit the showers, guys. We out.
damn.
That
This
should be your
RE guy has been carrying the chat for 2 hours.
Yeah, bro. We are the team fighting against one dude, bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's the Rin, and we are all talented learners fighting against him.
yeah,
yeah. We needed
he's man of the match. He's man of the match for sure.
for
You know,
sure.
I bet I'd be a talented learner of the two.
Yeah,
For
I would
We're
be.
talking about Karasu's the freakiest, bro. Nah, you a genius. Get him out.
you know what's crazy? I've been playing rematch. I think I understood what I am now. I think whenever I'm playing striker, I play more like a genius. But if I'm playing like midfielder or defender, I'm a talented learner.
Ah,
Wow, not even a target man, bro. I said, yeah, fuck all y'all. I'm screwed up.
Wow.
now
Target men just don't exist.
I'm a
There's
talented
second thoughts.
all the way through, man. From goalkeeper all the way to striker. I'm talented learner. Boy.
Really.
Yeah,
Bro,
I
man.
think I'm just one in
Trust me.
general.
bro, in rematch, sometimes I'll be playing GK every position because some of my teams are just trash.
Bro,
Dude, the
when I started rematch, I'm telling you now, I was so bad. Like so bad.
I love that game so much.
To the point where
Hasn't
I
played it.
look down on my controller to make sure I'm hitting the right buttons. But now, now I'm much better, bro. Now goalkeeper sends me the ball, bro. Straight overhead kick, man. I've scored the goal.
That's how.
Damn.
Raito getting his ankle stick.
Trust me, at the beginning, bro, I was the worst. I played 2 games or 3 games, and I was so bad. I said, "Nah, I'm not playing this game." Didn't play it for the whole day. Oh,
That's actually just like my relationship with FIFA. I'm not playing this. This game is crap. It's scripted. Next day, I'm back on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
Dude, the amount of ranked teams I had where nobody knows how to backtrack, I swear I was playing like Aiku out there. I have so many clips of me clearing balls, jumping up from them on every part of the field.
Trust me, I'm one of those guys that never tracks back.
Oh
Yeah,
my yeah.
this
I
was.
would track back because I don't want to be shouted at for not tracking back, but don't trust me to do a good job at it.
You're not good at it right now, right? You said you were good at it. Yeah, this was you the whole game getting chopped up.
Oh no.
I literally don't track back whatsoever. I just stay up front
Who
until
might
Yeah,
have
I
get
was
until
ankle?
they put me in goal.
yeah. I
Woo,
was good at
compliments.
Yeah, it was really good, Ari, man. I really
yeah.
appreciate it.
The
But
chat
guys,
carrier.
I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's been 3 hours, 25 minutes. Hasn't even felt that long.
Hey, bro. Just make sure y'all always.
I got my hands in my pockets.
Uh,
Sendo locking eyes with the American chick.
I remember after all of these conversations, we just gotta always sit down one time and just.
Me looking up in the shower, water on my face.
POV when you hit the kid, but the kid says it's you. It was you.
all right, cool, guys. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next week.
Oh,
Yeah.